All right, waiting for the confirmation here that I'm live, and I think I am, but I'm not 100% sure yet, but I think it is coming through, and we have all systems are go. What is going on? My name is Nick. Welcome to another Nimmin Live, the #1 place on the internet to learn about YouTube, hang out with other content creators, and have an awesome time doing it. My name is Nick, and today I'm going to be answering your YouTube questions. So if you have a question about what it is that you are doing on YouTube, make sure that you put it in the form that is in the description right now, because I answer those in the order that they are received. So the faster you get your questions in there, the faster they are going to get answered, because my goal of this stream is to have an awesome environment for you to be able to learn about YouTube so that you can learn all of the things that you need to know in order to grow your YouTube channel. Now, I also want to let you know, if this is your first time here on the stream, this stream is brought to you by TubeBuddy, the #1 browser plugin for YouTube content creators. So if you are a content creator, which I'm guessing you are, you probably wouldn't even be in here. If you are a content creator, then make sure that you give TubeBuddy a try. It'll help you optimize your videos. It'll help you find video ideas and all kinds of amazing additional features, test your thumbnails, all kinds of really cool stuff. You definitely need to check it out, but you can check that out at tubebuddy.com/Nimmin, and you can see what TubeBuddy can do for you. So I hope everybody had an awesome week. I was going to go live yesterday, but unfortunately the live stream, or not the live stream, my internet was completely down. So my mobile data isn't strong enough to actually push a good stream through from here. So no live stream yesterday, but hey, we're here today and we are rocking and rolling. So if you have the moment, please share this out on Twitter. Let other people know that we are live so they can come in and get their questions answered as well here about what it is that they are doing on YouTube. So you can bring it around here too. Right? So just that to me. Thank you. My wonderful girlfriend, y'all. So basically, again, what it is that we're doing here is we are answering your YouTube questions. And I do want to let the channel members know, for everybody that's been a channel member, you'll see that you now have a new icon next to your channel name. So that is the one that people are like, oh, I want to see what it looks like when it goes live. That's what it looks like when we are live. So you now have a new icon next to your channel name. So okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to remind you again to make sure that you get your questions down in the form, because there's just a couple of questions in there now. So if you have a question, like, it'll definitely get answered if you can hurry up and get it down in the queue. And while I'm waiting for that to fill up here a little bit, Neil, Urban Explorer, what's up, dude? Nice to see you. Sweet Escape, nice to see you here in the chat as well. Katia Payton, nice to see you. Season Day Studio, Karma Cashflow, what's up? Nice to see you guys here as well. I hope everybody had an awesome week. I know Doug Hoosen, what's up, man? I know that this is a Grabster. I know this is a weird time for me to go live. Normally it's on Saturday, but I'm like, I can't just not go live just because my internet was down yesterday. I got to make up for it today. And here we are. Viper, Man About Tech in the house. Launchpad Astronomy, what's up? Nice to see you here too. Busy chat here. Love it. Absolutely love it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the form here that is on the screen, and I'm going to start answering questions. So if you're just joining the stream, what it is that we do here is we answer your YouTube questions. So if you have a question about what it is that you're doing on YouTube, make sure that you go ahead and you put it down in the form, down in the description below. It's 100% free, doesn't cost you anything. This is just a thing that I do to help you grow here on YouTube. So very first question comes from Rhinomox Game Player. Rhinomox Game Player. They upload one time per week or more. They've been on YouTube for less than a month. Welcome to YouTube. Hope that YouTube is going great for you. I hope that you are enjoying your time here so far. They have a gaming channel, and the goal of the gaming channel is to get 100 subscribers. It says, what kind of game should I play on my gaming channel? Play games that you enjoy. Because the thing about YouTube is you have the opportunity to connect with other people who are like you. You have the opportunity to basically bring what it is that you love to the platform while also connecting with other people who are doing a similar thing as well. So find the game that you love to play the most, because it's going to be clear that you really enjoy that game. You're knowledgeable about the game, and you're not going to get bored of playing it. So because of that, I recommend that you just play whatever it is that you really, really love to play. Apollo, what's up? Nice to see you here in the chat. Finachos says that they upload when they have time. They've been on YouTube for less than a year. It's a gaming channel as well. And the goal of the channel is to make gaming videos. says how to find a less competitive game for my gaming channel. So here's the thing. When it comes to a less competitive game, Insane McGlane in the membrane, what's up? White Noise Studio, nice to see you swinging by in the chat today. So when it comes to finding a less competitive game, really, it just comes down to research. So what you have to do on your side of things as a content creator, and this doesn't matter, like whatever kind of content you make, like the same rule applies, right? Like whatever type of content that you make, you still need to make sure that you are just researching what's going on in your space, because the more you know about the other things that are happening in your space, the better you're going to be. And the better you're going to be able to do, because you're going to be able to see what's working for other people, what's not working for other people. And you're going to be able to see, hey, if people are doing it this way and they're going after these games and they're being successful with those, and then the people that are going after this particular game and they're playing that one, they're like not huge yet, but they're really starting to get some traction. So if I enjoy that game and it's something that I like, then in that situation, then I'll go after that one. But here's the thing. Play the games that you love, because like I was saying a second ago, it's important to make sure that while you are doing this stuff, because YouTube is a long process, right? Like once you start going, you have to commit for pockets of time to what it is that you're doing, especially in gaming. And the reason for that is because you need to collect people that are into that same topic that you are, into that same game in that situation, or the same type of games. So because of that, it's really important to make sure that you're able to serve them with all of those new videos that you're putting out, instead of just randomly, putting out a bunch of stuff that makes it really difficult to actually secure a nice core audience for what it is that you're doing. As you get the ball rolling, you can go ahead and kind of loosen that whole thing up a little bit. But when you're first getting started, it's really, really important. Scully's House of Thrillers, what's up, man? Chains 9. What's up? Nice to see you in here as well. Hope everybody's doing fantastic. Hope everybody's having a great week. Again, make sure you put your question down in the form below. Okay. Next up on our list is from Typical Teddy. That's typical. Teddy. They upload one time per week or more. They've been on YouTube for less than a year. Minecraft vids. You gamers are like coming in hard today. Gamers representing in the chat today, in the question form also. So they do Minecraft vids. Full-time income and influence and entertain people is the goal of the channel. And the question is, what should I do? Improve? What should I do? Improve on? And from what point and how fast can I grow daily once I have a specific number? Example, 20,000 with these videos, like 50 subs a day. Here's the thing. What's up, Gear Vlogs? Nice to see you here. Strength and Diaries. Nice to see you here as well. So basically, when it comes to that momentum that you're talking about, it doesn't happen at a certain number. A lot of people think, and if you're new to YouTube, just give me a hashtag new, just because it's important for everybody that's new to pay attention to this, because there's a lot of myths going around on, once you get to 100 subscribers, it's easier. Once you get to 1,000 subscribers, it's easier. Once you get to 100,000 subscribers, it's easier. At the end of the day, it's not. It's not that making the content and putting the content out there is easier. Okay, a lot of news. Good. So it's not that getting the actually making the content and putting the content out there is easier, because of course you find ways to make it faster and do things better. But in terms of it being easier, not necessarily easier as you cross these milestones. In terms of YouTube, YouTube doesn't all of a sudden hit a switch and start promoting your videos just because you crossed a subscriber milestone. The reason that myth is there is because people notice if they're putting out content that's effective in terms of you're able to get people to click, you're able to get people to watch for an extended period of time. Basically, you're able to just show YouTube, hey, when I publish a video, people click on it, they enjoy the content, they engage with it, and they keep coming back to the channel. That whole thing, like when you can make effective content that causes those things to happen, then from that point on, that's one piece of content. That's one soldier, so to speak, that you have out there on YouTube that's working for you, bringing new people in every day. The next video that you make. Hey, Dale, what's up? Self-publishing with Dale. Nice to see you. Yeah, your clock's going to be messed up now. I hear you. Millie Comics, what's up? So also, like you have that one video out there, and then you make another effective video that people like really enjoy. Hey, I'm digging this video. This content creator's cool. They keep putting out good content. I'm going to keep coming back to this channel. I'm going to subscribe. I'm going to share this with a buddy, bring them in. So now you have these two videos out there that are bringing new people into you because they're effective. Now, those two videos don't count the 30 other videos that you have on the channel when you're trying to figure out how to make effective videos, right? I'm talking about the two once you figure it out how to actually make effective videos that get people to click, get people to watch, and get people to engage. And then basically that process just replicates. So in terms of that snowball, what happens is once you learn this is what people respond to in terms of the click, this is what people respond to when they actually watch my content and enjoy my content, then you start making more of those videos, and the more of those pieces of content that you put out that's effective content, those little video soldiers that you put out there, they're constantly bringing in new people. If it's 5 people a day, or if it's 50 people a day, or 1,000 people a day, that's going to determine that snowball that's going to happen on your channel. So what happens is when you're first starting out, you don't have any of that. You're down here and you're still trying to figure out how to make content that people even enjoy or click on in the first place. And then once you get that foundation and you start making that effective content, then you kind of start at square one, right? So it doesn't matter if you have 100 subscribers at this point or 1,000 subscribers at this point, you're still starting at square one with making that content that YouTube deems, hey, this is good because people are enjoying this content. When we present it to people on the platform, they click on it and then they enjoy the content and they further engage with that content. So YouTube deems it as solid content. So then that's one piece of content that's out there that's put to work for you every single day. And every single time that you publish a video that's effective, then what happens is you start creating all of these videos that are bringing in 5 new people a day, 100 new people a day, 500 new people a day, whatever that number is, you know, per day. They're all videos that are bringing in new people per day. And with every piece of content that you put out, then it really starts scaling those numbers. So it's not necessarily based on your subscriber count. It's more based on how good you are at putting effective content together that gets people to click on it and gets people to watch it, so that YouTube will continue to show it to people. Because if they continue to show it to people, then that's your opportunity to actually bring them in and then convert them into a subscriber and returning viewer and that whole thing. A little lengthy on that one, but I hope that answered your question. Seize the Day Studios, what's up? Says, if I'm getting 60 or more views on my videos, but no new subs, what am I doing wrong? 60 or more views on a video, in terms of like not converting them into a sub, that doesn't mean that you're doing horrible. It just means that the people that YouTube is putting you in front of, like you're just not nailing it for them. Like, you know, in mine, I can't remember because it changes so much from month to month, but I can't remember off the top of my head what my actual conversion is. But what you want to look at is you want to think, okay, when I'm publishing these videos, I need to at least get some subscribers off of them by the time I get like 500 views or, you know, 100 views maybe. But like when you're looking at it at like 60, if you're getting 60 views, then, you know, that's a really small sample of people to really base any solid information off of. So what you want to do is you want to just constantly think, regardless of how many subs you're generating from your content right now, you just want to constantly think, how can I add more to the people that are watching this content? How can I make it more enjoyable for them? How can I make it better quality for them? How can I make it easier for them to find and watch more content? How can I make it to where they get what it is that, like when they clicked on this and they come into that video, how can I get it so that they are like, oh yeah, this is totally what I'm here for. This is totally type of content that I expected when I clicked on it. Totally love it. And then the more value that you add and the more that value is clear to the viewer, then the more your conversions are going to go up and the easier it's going to be for you to convert viewers into subscribers. By the way, I want to let you know, if this is your first time watching the stream and you want to learn how to grow your YouTube channel, make videos and all types of other YouTube and video related stuff, start now by subscribing and clicking the bell so you don't miss anything. Because in addition to these live streams, I also put out videos on my channel that help content creators with all different aspects of what it is that they're doing on YouTube. And that was supposed to animate, but it didn't, and I don't know why. And I'm a little bit kind of like, man, why isn't there? We go. All right, we got the animation happening. Boom. Okay, there we go. Hey, Seize the Day Studios. Yeah. So one thing on the idea of thinking, you know, hey, I've got this many views, I should have this many subscribers. Like one thing just to focus on, it's so easy for all of us. Everybody that's watching this right now, you know, like I've been doing this for a long time and still in my brain, I'm like, okay, you know, my subscriber numbers are a little bit lower than they were last month. I need to make sure that I do these things in order to, you know, bring it back up and so on. And that's just constantly a thing. So one thing that you have to try your best to do, even though it's difficult, is just focus on making another video, focus on adding value to the people that are watching your content. And the more you put your focus on that, of course, you have to have your benchmarks. You have to keep an eye on what's going on. That's how you know to improve or not. But the idea is just to constantly focus on how can I make this the best possible experience for the people that I'm making content for? And you just focus on that constantly. And by focusing on that, you will win. Baking with Charlene. What is up? Nice to see you in here. Mark and Bark Plays. Hey, Christopher Vito. What's up? Welcome to the live stream. Next question that we have here on our list is from Crypto and Coffee Live. Hey, speaking of coffee, it's like 9:30 in the night and I'm sipping on my coffee as well. My son's mother. Hey, what's up? Nice to see you. Nice to see you here. Okay, Crypto and Coffee Live says that they've been making videos for less than 6 months. And with that less than 6 months, they have a cryptocurrency and economics educational live stream. And the goal of the channel is cryptocurrency and economics educational live stream to teach people about cryptocurrency and digital assets. And the question is, I get good retention during the live streams, but I'm not finding a way to add new subscribers. Yeah, the reason for that is because most likely just because one, you're probably not encouraging people to subscribe like I just did when I was like, hey, if this is your first time here, blah, 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 subscribe, videos on my channel, so on, is you're not encouraging people to subscribe because that does work. And in addition to that, when you go live, depending on how you're putting your live streams together, it's possible that those videos just don't get the love on the replay that a piece of video content would. And because of that, you know, it could be hurting that, you know, it could just be hurting you long-term to where you're only valid, so to speak, or relevant when you're actually live. And then as soon as that live stream stops and everything kind of goes down a bit, just because there's no like real snappy, you know, video content to keep bringing people back in. Now, you know, your live streams might be enough. Totally might be enough. But if you're having trouble converting people, then like I was saying before, they're just not clearly seeing why they should subscribe. They're not clearly understanding the value it is that you're bringing, so that they can, you know, make sure that they keep coming back to what it is that you are, what it is that you're doing. Fred and Aaron Plays is the next question on our list, and they upload every other day. Fantastic. That's awesome. Okay, so they upload every other day. They've been making videos for less than a month. They have a kids channel. The goal of the channel is to entertain kids. That's cool. That's cool. Totally dig it. Says, we purchased TubeBuddy on your recommendation, but nothing is getting views. Following your steps and other, or how to use it. Will it get better? So here's the thing, and we talk about this all of the time. Anybody who makes content like I do, we talk about this all the time. If you look around anywhere online, you'll see the same exact thing. Basically, the idea with all of these tools, because there's like a whole slew of these tools, right? But with all of these tools, like nothing is going to fix the content. So basically, you have to be able to use the tools, just like you have to be able to use any tool with anything, you know, in your life. You have to be able to use the tool. So make sure that you watch tutorials on how to actually use it. And two, using the tool to target specific, and this is really important. So if you're a TubeBuddy user, pay really close attention to this. So if you are using any of these tools and they're giving you a score on your possibility of ranking, right? Your opportunity score, then what that's doing is that's saying that if your content performs and you're trying to rank in search, then this particular phrase that you're targeting is a good fit for you. But at the end of the day, if you can't get people to click on your thumbnails and titles, and you can't get people to watch your content for a fair amount of time, or at least to where YouTube will deem it as a satisfactory experience for the viewers, if you can't make that happen, then there's not a tool on the planet that's going to facilitate that process for you, right? Now, if you have the combo of, okay, I'm able to make content that people respond to, I'm able to target the proper phrases that I'm going for because this tool is helping me, you know, really find the right things to go for. And I'm really leveraging all aspects of this tool and I'm using it correctly. Then in that situation, that's just a powerhouse that can really help move things forward for you. Hey, what's up, Brick Advice? Nice to see you here. Valerie Okery. Hey, what's up? Nice to see you. Crypto and Coffee says, thank you. We need to be more diligent outside of our streams. Yeah, and really it just comes down to, you know, not necessarily trying to bring people in, if that's what you mean, like, you know, like being on social media and stuff, but it's more about just making sure that the people on platform are getting what it is that they deem valuable out of the content that you are that you're releasing. I'm guessing if you're sharing crypto stuff, guessing they probably are. So it might just be a time thing, you know, in terms of maybe just the numbers aren't there yet, and for you to actually be able to notice a pattern and figure out what, you know, a good conversion is for you. All right. Grabster, man, I was digging through some of your files today. Hey, by the way, Grabster makes awesome graphics. If anybody in here is looking for graphic stuff, hire Grabster. He's really good. Brick Advice says they upload 1 time per week or more. They've been making videos for less than 1 month. The channel is a Lego tips channel, and the goal is to help people. And the question is, when creating playlists on my channel, should I treat them like videos? Playlist title and description. Absolutely. So playlist, when you're using playlists, who here uses playlists? Hashtag yes, hashtag no if you're using playlist. Shine Automotive, what's up? So basically, if you are using playlists, what you want to make sure that you're doing is using all of the features involved with the playlist. Just like any other aspect of any other feature on YouTube, you want to make sure, okay, good. Love seeing that. Love seeing that everybody's using playlists. That's awesome. Blue Eyed Tech, what's up, man? I love seeing that everybody's using playlists. Super important, powerful too if you're using them right. But basically, when it comes to playlists, you want to make sure that you're using your playlist title as an actual title, just like you would with a video, because playlists can get recommended. Playlists can get recommended on home pages, playlists can get recommended next to other videos, and playlists can show up in search as well when people are looking for specific things. So you want to write a title for your playlists relevant to the content that's in the playlist for the sake of giving yourself that additional opportunity. So you don't want to use it as like a categorical thing, like, you know, like vlogs, right? That's not enough, right? You have to be more specific of what's in that playlist so that if somebody does see it being recommended to them, so that they're more inclined to click on it. That's the idea. But you want to make sure that you're doing your titles that way. You also want to make sure that you're using your descriptions. And when it comes to the descriptions, typically on YouTube, the ADHD Gardener, what's up? Nice to see you in here. When it comes to Paul Peck, drywall in the house, what's up, dude? But when it comes to your descriptions, you don't want to fill them up with like a bunch of links and stuff like you do on your videos, but you do want to actually describe what's going on in the playlist, just because that kind of helps add just context to what it is that's in the playlist itself. So you absolutely want to do that. You also want to click into the advanced settings, and where it applies to your strategy, you want to make sure that you're also marking certain playlists as series playlists. There's also little tricks that you can do that you may or may not know. I'm sure there's somebody watching that doesn't know this. But basically, there's little things that you can also do to where if you add certain things to your tags, for example, it'll automatically go into like a certain playlist. So it kind of automates some of that stuff for you as well, which makes it easier, which is cool. It's a big win. So just as a heads up there as well. Ryder Marcus Regis.
Welcome to the Nimminati.
Welcome to the Nimminati, Ryder Marcus Regis. So just as a heads up to you, check the community feed when you get the chance. There's some free stuff in there for you. Also, next time you're on Facebook, look for Nimminati VIP. Fill out all the questions on the way in, because that's how I verify people on the way in. But just fill out all the questions on the way in, and definitely participate in the Facebook group. A lot of cool stuff is shared over there, and there's also additional freebies in there too. All right. So the Armstrong family says, hey, Nick, grew 13,000 subs and 1.5 million views in 6 months because of you. High five and fist bump. Love that. Absolutely love it. You did that because of you, right? You might have taken some of the advice, but you applied that advice, right? So high five and fist bump to you for actually putting in the work, grinding it out, putting out the videos, caring enough about your content and what it is that you're doing to try to do something with it, right? In order to be able to put that effort in. So high five and fist bump to you for putting in the effort and making that happen. Okay, next up, excuse me, is Steno Hood. Uploads when they have time, been on YouTube for 1 year or more. The channel is court reporting. The goal of the channel is I love helping others and sharing info. What is your question? Just want to thank you for your tips. I recently reached 1,000 subscribers, and thank you for all that you provide. High five and fist bump to you for crossing that 1,000 subscriber milestone. Get a clap. 13,000, chased that with a 1,000, right? Nimminati's doing good. That's what I'm talking about right there. Woo, woo. Okay, next up on our list, we've got Leah Vlog. Leah Vlog says that they upload when they have time, been on YouTube less than a year. Kind of channel is vlogging, gaming, tutorial, and my language is Tagalog. And the goal of the channel is because my parents. And the question is how to get 4,000 hours of watch time and 1,000 subscribers in just a day or more days. Well, if you're trying to do it in a day, then you would need a video to go viral. So here's what I want you to think about. I actually want you to change the way that you're thinking about this. I actually have a video that's being published tomorrow on mindset, and everybody that's watching this right now should watch that video when it comes out. It's really important, just because it's about the just the way that content creators think that kind of keep them held down a little bit, and how you can kind of change your perspective on some things in order to help you be able to, fully see the opportunity that's in front of you on YouTube. A little bit of my personal stories in that video as well, but really good information in that video. So hopefully you'll watch it. Professor Nez in the house. What's up, man? But basically, when it comes to getting 4,000 hours of watch time and 1,000 subscribers, it really comes down to just making sure that you're adding value to the people that are watching your content, making sure that you are consistently putting out content that other people enjoy. It's also important that you always consider that you're making content for an audience. That's huge, right? It's not that you're just throwing up videos for the sake of putting up videos. It's not that you're just like putting out whatever. Hey, Ratty Star, nice to see you, man. T-Fray 4.0, hey, what's up? Says, hey, I just changed the name. Please give me your feedback. I like the name, T-Fray 4.0. Is this your fourth time swapping it up? But basically, when it comes to 4,000 hours, if anybody in here is trying to get that 4,000 hours of watch time and that first 1,000 subscribers, it comes down to consistently uploading content that people enjoy. Just always remembering that you're making content for an audience. Just like if anybody puts out a movie, they're putting that movie out for an audience. When they are putting together TV shows, the Artist Haven, what's up? Nice to see you in here. When they're putting together TV shows, they're putting that together for an audience to enjoy. Same exact thing applies to YouTube. When you're making content, you're making that content for an audience, and you have to always remember that. You're making it for an audience. Make sure that you're adding value to that audience, and the better that you can do with that, then the better you're going to end up doing, like all the way across the board on YouTube. I also want to give a quick shout out as well for those of you on iPhones. Video Leap is also a channel sponsor as well. I've done a lot of sponsored videos with them, as you've probably noticed. So if you are on an iPhone, I do want to bring some additional attention to Video Leap and let you know that they are an awesome app for iPhones. I actually use them when I'm putting together like my YouTube stories and that sort of thing. So if you are looking for an app, it's actually free. They just have paid upgrades that you can get. But I recommend that you check out Video Leap. Okay, next up on our list, we have Leia Vlog, and they upload when they have time. Wait a minute, did I just do this one? I did. Okay, let me go to another one. So next up on our list, we have Tracer TV. Tracer TV says they upload when they have time. The question is, or they have a gaming channel. The goal of the channel is to entertain the viewers as well as improve my lifestyle. And the question is how to make PUBG thumbnails on your phone and where can we find packs for it? So what you want to do is if you are looking for packs and you're looking for that sort of thing for gamers, then what you need to do if you're looking for images that you're going to be using for your thumbs, go to the actual website of the company that makes the game. And then down in the very bottom, a lot of these places or somewhere in the navigation, somewhere on the page, they're going to have something for press or media. You want to make sure that you click on that. And then there's, in most cases, they're going to have an option for you there to where they're going to give you a big catalog of images that you can use for what it is that you're putting together. Joe Taylordale, what's up, man? Says, thanks, Nick, for OBS Studio tutorial. Make your streams look pro. It's worth it. Absolutely. Absolutely. Right now, I'm actually using Streamlabs OBS to run this stream. And like with this, like the cool stuff with the live streaming stuff is like I've got this in here, you know, reminding people to subscribe, and it did it again. There we go. Reminding people to subscribe. I've got that graphic in there, graphics here, graphics for that. This right here is a slideshow, which another thing if you're on an iPad, by the way. Why can't I point the right direction? There we go. But yeah, like slideshows on that side, slideshows on this side. I got a thing for Brian G. Johnson in here. Got split screen. Since D's in Mexico, you know, I still got to have him in here hanging out as well. And by the way, those of you that watch D's channel, D just crossed 90,000 subscribers on his YouTube channel just a couple of days ago. Yesterday, I think it was. Yesterday, the day before. So high five and fist bump D for crossing 90,000 subscribers on his YouTube channel. Blowing up. Absolutely love it. Okay. So, become a pro BCB says today is my birthday and you made it very special for me, Nick, for helping me bring so much attention to my channel because of your videos. 13,000 subscribers. Bam! High five, fist bump to you for crossing 13,000 subscribers. And happy birthday. We actually have a happy birthday song that we've been putting together for like 2 years, but it's not ready, right? It's probably going to be a while because it's already been a while. But happy birthday to you. I would love to be able to play that for you right now. But in the meantime, I will just say happy birthday. I hope that you have, this is your personal New Year's, so I hope that you have an awesome happy birthday. Everybody, let's give a hashtag happy birthday there for Become a Pro BCB. All right, let's see here. So let me get back into the questions. I saw Rock Climbing Grandma in here somewhere I was looking for, but hey, Rock Climbing Grandma, nice to see you here hanging out in the chat. Magic Prepper, what's up, man? Nice to see you in here as well. Okay, next up on our list, we have SY Channel, says that they upload every other day, and they've been on YouTube for less than 6 months, and the channel is about comparisons as well as rankings. And the goal of the channel is to share knowledge and also some data. It says how to promote my channel creatively, and I created my channel almost a month and subs only 30. Is it the right path? So all YouTube channels grow at different rates. There isn't a, well, you started YouTube on this day, by this day you're gonna have X amount of views or subscribers. It doesn't work that way. Every single channel takes its own path of growth in terms of getting to whatever end goal it is that you are trying to get to. So because of that, as everything gets going and as you start getting more familiar with content that you make that people respond to and things like that, then based on your goals, you'll make decisions on which content to put out that will help drive you more towards your goals while still serving that audience. So in your particular case, 30 might be amazing for what it is that you're doing, or it could be like, okay, well, 30, you know, right now, you know, maybe you should have a little bit more, but I mean, it really all depends on what it is that you're after, your goals, the skill sets that you came in with, your knowledge about YouTube out of the first place. But 30 subscribers in a month, not bad, right? A lot of people never get 30 subscribers. So I'll share that much with you. I also want to say,
welcome to the Nimmin.
To Dow Cecil Runo. Dow Cecil Runo, make sure that you check the community feed. I've got some stuff in there for you. Also, make sure when you get the chance, next time that you are on Facebook, look for Nimminati VIP. That's our members only Facebook group. And make sure you fill out the questions on the way in, because I only let people in if I confirm that they are indeed channel members, because I have a lot of people that try to get in there when I mention that on the live streams. I'm sure you can imagine. Professor Nez says, support awesome creators. Thank you, Nick Nimmin. Thank you, Professor Nez. Nice to see you hanging out in the chat, man. I hope that you are safe. Hope everything is awesome and going fantastic for you. Professor Nez, I'm sure everything actually is awesome and all that for you. Pretty positive outlook there. You're not one of those people to where I'm gonna all of a sudden run across and you're going to be like, oh, everything's bad and it sucks all of a sudden just because you're a positive dude. So I know everything's going well. So good to see you. Okay. Next up on the list, we've got Strength Diaries. And for Strength Diaries, they do bi-weekly content. They've been making videos for less than 6 months. They have a health and well-being channel, and the goal of the channel is to promote health and well-being. And the question is, I want to collaborate. Is it better to do that with a YouTuber of a similar subscriber size?
Super chat. Super chat.
I missed a bunch.
Super chat. Super chat.
There we go. So when it comes to your collaborations and thinking of who you should collaborate with, I wouldn't necessarily look at it in terms of subscriber size. I would look at it in terms of experience. So what I mean by that is just because somebody has a low subscriber count doesn't mean that they're not very talented, or it doesn't mean that they're not very knowledgeable in whatever it is that they're talking about. It doesn't mean that they are necessarily, bad at anything or really good at anything, right? Like that subscriber count isn't really like a thing that's very specific on somebody's quality, right? So what you need to do if you're looking for people to collaborate with is you need to look for people that are good fit for your content and your audience over everything else. So of course, a lot of people look at collaborations in terms of, I'm going to do a collab because I want, right? I want to be in front of their audience so that I can get, some of their viewers to come over to mine, which is cool. That's a great thing to do. However, it's also good to think of the whole thing at a deeper level, which is, I'm going to try to do some collaboration so I can create relationships with other content creators who make similar content to me so that as my channel grows and as I go through this process, I can develop a network of other people that are doing what it is that I'm doing, and we can collaborate in a bunch of different ways over time, right? So look at it that way. If you are looking at it like I just want to do a collaboration so that I can have an audience transfer, think of it in terms of I want to build relationships and start taking that approach with your collaborations. Of course, when you are doing collaborations, you want to make sure that they're in the same niche as you. But in terms of subscriber count, like if you have a bigger channel, it's okay to do collaborations with people that have smaller channels. If you have a smaller channel, if you make really good content, then a channel that like a bigger channel will have no problem collaborating with you. But there is some experience involved. in terms of, you know, some people won't collaborate if you haven't done collaborations before because maybe you're not familiar with the process. They don't want to train you through it, that kind of stuff. So, you know, there are different aspects like that. But in terms of subscriber count, I would look at it more of like experience. Like, is this person experienced in what it is that they're doing? If they're not, then they're probably going to be more of a headache to collaborate with than not. And if they are experienced, then it'll probably be a smooth, transition for you. Raphael, Epic Cardboard Prop says, just to say thank you, I'm making 1,200 subs per day at the moment, and I crossed 30,000 a few days ago. I wouldn't be there without you and the TubeBuddy team. High five and fist bump to you, man. Love seeing that feedback coming in. Lots of good feedback today. He's up to 1,200 subs. Earlier, they crossed 13,000, got 1,000 here. D just crossed 90,000. Busy. Great time. Shay Lodge, thank you for the super sticker there. I appreciate it. Millie Comics says, hey, Nick, I upload 2 times per week, but I'm not getting any views. I think my thumbnails are good, but I might target 2 competitive keywords. TubeBuddy says otherwise. Okay, here's the thing. If you are uploading 2 times per week, but you're not getting views, then you might need to kind of rethink what it is that you're doing. I'm actually going to pull up your channel here really quick just because I feel the need to pull up a channel. I don't know if I'm going to pull it on screen or not. It depends. We're going to see what it is I see if I can find you here. Okay. Millie Comics. And the question here is, I upload 2 times a week, but I'm not getting views. Okay. So you say that your thumbnail, I think my thumbnails are good. Okay. So the very first thing that I want to say is that here, you have some videos that have like 113 views. You have some videos that have, 88 views. So what you need to do is you need to go in, and granted, this isn't a lot of data to work with. So you still have some time to go before you start getting some momentum going, but you've only been uploading consistently for about a month, right? And because of that, here, I'm actually going to pull you up on screen here really quick. Let's see if I can find my screen. Boom. All right. So, like right here, like you haven't been uploading for that long. You don't even have a lot of content on your channel. So if you listened to before where I was talking about the importance of making sure that that you are consistently putting out content so that you can have all of those effective soldiers out there for you, video soldiers, for the sake of, this is effective content that people are responding to. So it's going to bring in a few viewers a day. The better you get at that, and the more that happens, or the more content you have, the easier it is for that to happen, which brings in more views and attention to what it is that you're doing. Right now, considering you've barely started uploading, the view counts that you're getting are not that bad. However, in terms of your thumbnails and thinking that your thumbnails are okay, there's not really enough data that you're going to have yet, but you'll have a little bit. So you'll definitely want to go in and go ahead and start comparing, even though the data is going to be extremely limited. Go ahead and start comparing things like the video that has 200 views on it. Like when that video was first published in the first week, what happened to that video? What was the click-through rate on that video and all the different traffic sources? What kind of retention did you get? What kind of engagement, if any, did you get on that video? Compare that to the one that you did 1 month ago also, with 94 views on it, or the one 2 weeks ago with 88. And say in that first week after I published this one, this is my click-through rate. This is the traffic sources for that click-through rate. This is my retention. This is my retention for the different traffic sources. And this is the engagement that I was able to generate or not. And what that's going to do is that's going to help you identify more what is actually happening on your channel. Because unfortunately, when it comes to all of this stuff, unless you have a lot of experience from like looking at other channels and stuff, it's really difficult to just say, yeah, I think my thumbnails are good. Like, I can tell you they look good, but what's more important than your thumbnails looking good is your thumbnails being effective, right? And if your thumbnails look good, but they're not effective, then they're working against you. Whereas if they're effective and they don't look great, who cares? Because they're still effective in bringing people into your channel, right? So because of that, you have to take, we all have to do this. We have to take ourselves out of what it is that we're making and look at what it is that we're doing objectively, just to make sure, and not even just looking at it objectively. We got to use the stats that are given to us to start trying to figure out, are people liking this more, or are people liking this more, so that you can make the right decisions.
Welcome to the Nimminati.
Chi Kelly Beauty, welcome to the Nimminati. So just as a heads up, there's some free stuff for you in the community feed. You're gonna have to scroll for it, but it's in there. Also, Make sure next time you're on Facebook that you join the Nimmin VIP Facebook group. Just look for it there on Facebook, and make sure you fill everything out on the way in, because I verify everybody on the way in. And with that, just as a heads up, when we stream, we typically stream over there as well. So make sure that you are that you're over there. Shane's 9 says, my POV, 3 basic variables that stem for success: click-through rate, view percentage, and consistent video content quality. Mostly true? Absolutely. Yeah. So at the very top of that, though, is your actual content decisions. Like a lot of people will look really hard at only the click-through rate and only the watch time and only the engagement and how consistent they are. But one thing that they won't even factor in is the topic of the actual content that they're putting out there, and how good of a fit is it for the people that are coming into the channel that they're trying to reach, and how good of a fit is it for the actual source that you're trying to target. So for example, like if you are targeting recommendation features, you might package things up in a different way in terms of your thumbnail and title than you will if you're going after search. Just because there's certain language and certain things that you do in search in order to make people, respond to it more, because it immediately makes sense for what it is that they're looking for, compared to on the recommendation features, you're trying to tap into people's like curiosity, and you're trying to shock people, or you're trying to just, demand their attention with a way that you might phrase something. So, they're at the very top is the topic, and then start thinking from the topic, then start working your way down on how to package it, and then how you package it's going to determine your click-through rate, and then of course that your how much watch time, percentage and total watch time are both important. But you just kind of trickle it down through. But yeah, mostly true. Absolutely, you're on the right path with that thinking. Cole Perrine
Super Chat
says, took a break and now the channel is dead. Any advice? I'm not sure how long you've started uploading again for, but the advice would be to find the content on your channel that performed in the past and start uploading that type of content again. If you've ended up switching, like if you're doing, I've got a tear in like a back muscle tear. If you end up doing the same type of, or a different type of content, then what you have to do in that situation is you have to basically start just publishing on a regular basis and just paying really close attention to the stuff that works and doesn't work. Because like when you take a break like that, then what happens is that unless you have people that have been consistently coming into the channel while you've been taking a break, the freshness of your content in terms of people coming in and consuming your content on a regular basis is gone, or it's very low. So because of that, you have to go through the process again of building your relevance and user histories back up again. And unfortunately that comes down to, making more content, but one video can put you back on the map again and kind of get that ball rolling back again for you.
Welcome to the Nimminati.
The Nurse Flipper, welcome to the Nimminati. Same thing for you. Make sure that you check out the VIP Facebook group. Nimminati VIP is the name of it. When you're there, fill out all the stuff on the way in so I can verify that you are a channel member. Also, make sure you check the community feed as well, because there's some stuff for you in there as well. All right, proceeding on to the questions. And now we proceed on to the questions. Okay, so Strength Diaries says they do bi-weekly content, YouTube less than 6 months. Health and Wellbeing is the channel. To promote health and well-being is that. Oh, I want to collaborate. We already got that one. Okay. Miss Life Mastery, sorry, says, I upload 1 time per week or more. Less than 6 months is how long they've been on the platform. The channel is I share videos to help people master a life that they can start living despite a chronic illness. Awesome cause. And the goal of the channel is to help others, have fun myself, and to eventually monetize. The question. When using TubeBuddy, it'll give me a score of excellent for a keyword phrase, but I try it another like Morning Fame and it gives me a lower. How do you use the 2 pieces of info together to design your titles and tags? So Morning Fame, if you're basically, I'm not sure if you're talking about the Keyword Explorer or if you're talking about the SEO tool. But either way it goes, when you're using the tools, whichever tool it is that you decide to use, I recommend TubeBuddy. Morning Fame is also awesome though. Both of them are great tools. But basically when you are using those tools, I always recommend, even when you use it, even when the tool says, hey, this is great, you got a great chance for this, or when it's like, hey, you don't have a good chance for this, I really recommend that you also go in and you manually research how to actually, if you have a chance to actually rank for those things or not. Because one thing that a lot of people are thinking when they are using the tool is, or the different tools, is they're thinking like, okay, I just need to rank videos in search, but you do need to rank videos in search if your channel is that type of channel. But in your case, ranking videos in search, might get you, get you going, get you some nice, consistent foundational traffic. But really thinking through the people that are having the chronic illness that you're trying to help, really thinking through the content that they might respond to and the types of thumbnails and titles that they might respond to, more than what that score gives you, might be a better approach. So what I mean by that is this. Of course, you want to use your keyword phrase because especially if you're just starting out, you want to put the combo together to where, yeah, I have a chance of ranking for this in search, but this title's so good and so compelling that I also have a really good chance of getting recommendation traffic as well, right? So you want to start there, but when you're using the tools, you want to make sure that you go and you manually research regardless of the score that they give you before you make the call on if you're going to do it or not. And to do that, you simply go and you look at, of course, it's more detailed than this, but you simply go and you search for what it is that you are trying to rank for, and you see the channels that are there. You actually go and watch some of the top videos. You see how long they've been there for, and you don't even look at the view counts. Because the view counts that are there, those views could have come from recommendation features. They could have been shared somewhere and driven a lot of views. So those aren't necessarily the views that they've gotten from search. So because of that, you just have to look at them and say, okay, well, the channel size is this. Typically, their videos get about this. So that means that the views they got on this are, there's probably a good chance that it's a mix of different sources and that sort of thing. This channel is really strong. It's a really good channel. And because of that, they're probably really good at making content that people respond to well, which is why they're in that #1 spot in the first place. So if I'm going to compete against them, my video needs to be at least as good as their video. My thumbnail needs to be at least, and title needs to be at least competitive as well. Also mixing in, the compelling elements to get them to click and all of that stuff. Like you really need to go in and manually look. And I know it's an additional step. But the reason that I recommend that you do that is because, one, the tools that you're using are fantastic, right? And they definitely give you good advice. I mean, I'll be honest, like there's a lot of times to where I'll be like, okay, yeah, I know the term that I'm going for. I know my audience. I know, that this particular video might get more or less views than I normally get based on, whatever it is that the goal of that video is for. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this before I make the video, and I'm going to see, my chances of phrasing it this way or phrasing it that way. Okay, this phrase is a little bit better. Let me hop on trends, see what it looks like there. Let me just do a quick search to see who comes up there that I'm competing with and see the videos that they put out. How recently did they put them out? Because if they just recently put it out and they're getting a lot of traffic, then that might give me an opportunity to pull some suggested traffic from them, that sort of thing. But basically, you just go in and you start looking at that sort of thing just to get an idea of what's going on. This is why it's so important to make sure that you're really paying attention to what's going on in your space in terms of the people that you're competing with. Not if you have 100 subscribers or 1,000 or 10,000 or 50,000 and you're in the same niche as channels that have 13 million subscribers, those channels with 13 million subscribers are not your competitors, right? You can't compete with them yet. But the channels that are, around your size, within like the few hundred thousands or lower, those are the people that are your actual competitors that you're actually going to be showing up next to and that you might be able to bump out of specific spots. All right, so
Super Chat.
Netany says, I'm trying to be a Sims YouTuber, but I only get 16 views on my uploads. Any advice? It really comes down to your titles, really comes down to your thumbnails, and it really comes down to how people respond to your videos. So a lot of people, when it comes to YouTube, like they put the content together and they put it out there, and they will, and I'm not saying that you're doing this, but they'll put it out there and they'll be like, okay, well, that's good. And I think it's great because I put it out. But as soon as YouTube starts showing it to people, and you can see how many people they're showing it to by the impressions that they're giving, you can see that in your stats. But as soon as YouTube starts showing it to people, that video is going to live or die based on how people respond to it immediately after they start showing it to people. And that's where the advantage comes in of having a larger audience, because when you have a lot more people that have been watching your content recently, then what happens is YouTube has this bigger pool of people that have already been involved with what it is that you're doing, to where they're like, oh, hey, they typically watch videos of this length at this time of the day from Nick's channel. And anytime that he makes a video about this particular topic, they typically click on that one. So because of that, we're going to show this particular piece of content to them. And you just have more people at scale, right? That's why bigger channels will get views faster. But basically, it really comes down to, if you're just getting started, it really comes down to how people respond as you first start publishing. So it's really important to just make sure that you're doing everything the best that you can. And And what you want to do if you're doing Sims content, and you're trying to be a Sims YouTuber, you have to make sure that you can compete. And what I mean by that is you have to go and start looking around for all the different Sims terms in terms of search. Literally start searching for different things that you might be making videos about in the future. See what pops up. See how people are writing their titles. See how people are putting their thumbnails together. Watch some of the videos. See how people are actually making the video content, like especially the channels that are getting a lot of views, or the videos that are getting a lot of views, even though the channel isn't big. Watch those videos and really start paying really attention. How fast are they cutting? How slow are they cutting? Are they being like entertaining? Are they just being like dull and sarcastic? Like what is it that they're doing that is getting people to respond to this, which in turn gets YouTube to respond to it? Because if you're getting 16 views on a video, that means that you're either just brand new and you're just going through the process of building up a video library and building up some user histories and things like that, and you're still in that early learning phase of like writing titles and thumbnails and making good thumbnails and that sort of thing. So you might just have to go through that process. But if you're already past some of that and you're still getting 16 views a video, then that situation, you need to go and just pay really close attention of who you're competing with and try to think of either a unique way in to offer something that they don't, the other channels that you're competing with, or to bring your stuff to the level that their stuff is, so that you can get more traction. And that might come down to just video structure by itself, or it might come down to certain ways that they do their thumbnails, or whatever it happens to be. But you really need to get very in tune with what's happening in your space just to make sure that you can compete. If you're already past that, like, hey, I'm just getting started trying to get my titles and thumbnails together phase.
Welcome to the Nimminati.
Shady Lodge, welcome to the Nimminati. Make sure you check the community feed here. Also, make sure that when you get the chance that you join the Nimminati VIP Facebook group. You just look for Nimminati VIP. It'll pop up, and make sure you join that group.
Super Chat.
So Jay's, it just scrolled past. I had it here on the screen, and it just scrolled past. Hold on, let me go back up. I'm going up here quick. Okay, J&J Toy Giant says, since my son and I's channel is involving toys and it's under the copy restriction, how can I grow my channel? I upload every week, currently at 82 subs. Okay, so here's the thing. If you're making content for kids, then you are kind of stuck in that vacuum, so to speak. So the things that you are not, unfortunately, going to be able to do is, people aren't going to be able to interact with your stuff, right? So since they're not able to interact with your stuff, that makes it really difficult for you. Anything that's trackable, right? They're not going to be able to interact with anything that's trackable. So because of that, it's going to make it really difficult for you to grow your channel in terms of like subscribers and engagement and all that stuff. You can get views, but in terms of subscriber count and engagement, it's going to be a tough run for you. So what I would do if I made kids content, if I wasn't already an established channel and was crushing it because I was an established channel already, what I personally would do, and I actually have two friends, one of them has 5 million subscribers. The other one actually I think is approaching 5 million. And then that first one, he actually has, I think 1 or 2 other channels as well with like 2 or 3 million. But basically what all of them have done for their content is they're actually aging up. So basically they started out with like kids type content, and then basically after the rules came into place, they started aging up. So what I mean by that is they started making content that wasn't as kid focused, which kind of put it a little bit borderline, which in their case, they're slowly moving it out of that kid space so that they can, kind of get things back to normal. But unfortunately, if you're just doing like toy reviews, then you're directly targeting kids, and you're definitely going to have your work, cut out for you. Remo Radio.
Super Chat.
How do I get more views on my 24/7 music channel? So technically you could buy ads for it. So one thing that I do, because I have a 24/7 channel, it's just video ideas. And it's not a whole channel, but basically mine, I've got a link to it down in the description, but it's basically like a 24-hour live stream. It's just got some chill music that people can listen to in the background. But it also has video ideas that rotate. So if somebody's looking for a video idea and they can't come up with anything, they can find that stream and they can just, go through the rotation until a good idea pops up. But basically what you can do, I don't do this on mine. All I've done on mine is I just put it on my actual channel page, but I already have people hitting my channel page, and I leave it in the links of these live streams and that sort of thing. Hardly mention it at all. However, if I was trying to grow that, what I would do personally is I would run ads for it. I would run ads, like in your case, if you're doing a 24/7 music channel, I would run ads on all of the other 24/7 music channels, because people are looking for that content, or they're just clicking on it because it's being suggested to them because they watch 24/7 music channels. So if it was me, I would start advertising on 24/7 music channels for the sake of, basically I would think genre. okay, this is the type of music that I'm playing on my channel. These are the other types of channels that make similar type content. I'm going to advertise right in front of them. And the reason for that is because you need to spread awareness about what it is that you're doing. And the best way that you can do that, of course, is going after, trending songs if you're doing remixes and that sort of stuff. But if you want to, just tap into like the radio side of what it is that you're doing, then I would just start running ads in front of the other people that are making 24/7 music channels.
Super Chat.
MJ Fangirl TV says, I'd love an overview of my channel. I am newly at 15,000 after following much of your advice, but would love additional advice from you, Nick. So I'll pull you up, but here's the thing. I'm not going to pull up any more channels. Just wanted to say that really quick. I'm not going to pull up any more, but I will pull yours up as long as I can find it. If it easily comes up in search, then I will, then I'll pull it up, because I just don't want to turn this into like a review stream. So I'm going to pull it up and I'm just going to do a quick overview. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to give you a quick like best practice, quick best practice overview here. Congrats on 15K though. And while that's going on, I also want to say,
welcome to the Nimminati.
Izzy Games Inc., welcome to the channel membership. So welcome to the Nimminati. So next time, Deo, what's up, man? So if you are on Facebook, next time you're on Facebook, make sure that you check out the Nimminati VIP on Facebook, and make sure you fill out all the questions on the way in, because those questions are going to basically confirm. It allows me to go and look in my channel and make sure that you're a channel member before I let you in. Insane McLean,
Super Chat.
thank you for the super sticker. Should say super sticker, not super chat, right? So thank you for that. I appreciate it. And
Super Chat
says, thanks for the awesome info last time. You demand. My wife is a huge fan now, by the way. Can my son and I have 2 separate monetized channels through the same account? Yes, you can. But what I would do personally, if it was me, and I've actually done this, is I would actually make a brand new Google account for each asset that you're building. And the reason that you want to do that is because sometimes things can just go wrong. And if things go wrong, you don't want to be in a situation to where a domino effect happens and takes down every asset that you've built. So because of that, I do recommend that you actually start with a brand new fresh Gmail account or Google account. So you have a fresh Gmail account, fresh Google Drive folder, fresh Google Docs folder, fresh YouTube channel, like fresh from the ground up, for the sake of just being on the, let's call it what it is, be on the safe side. All right, let's see here. Screen. Where is my screen? Second screen down here. Okay. So again, congrats on 15,000 subscribers on your YouTube channel. Fangirl videos for the Michael Jackson fan community. Interesting. Okay, so the very first thing that I would do is right here, you have your popular uploads at the very top of your channel list. I would definitely move this. This is great because it shows people that, hey, I've got a lot of view counts on some of my videos. However, you should be focusing people on new content. So if I just watch one of your videos, I come and I land on your channel page, you want to filter people into what's going on now. This will help bring more attention to your current content. And then people that don't, where they don't get their attention grabbed there, then they can go and they can scroll. And then after that, they can see your popular uploads, or they can be specifically driven into the different things, just like you're doing it right here. But your channel is laid out in a fantastic way. But the couple things that I would do though, is I would definitely move this uploads playlist to the top. And then I would put your popular playlists underneath that, or your popular videos underneath that. Also, on your story time, be specific about what that story time is instead of just story time. Make it an actual title. And the reason you want to make this an actual title is because this can show up in search. This can get recommended next to other videos, things like that. So, so I would definitely make that into an actual title itself. Haven't done one of these live in a long time. This is great. Okay, so next tip that I have for you, as soon as my page loads. Okay, next, is that playing? No, okay. So next tip that I have for you, let me scroll down because most people don't do this. Oh, you are doing it. Look at you. Go, girl. Hold on. Wait. Let me scroll up. Oh, okay, so right here, you're running an affiliate link. So just as a heads up here on the safe side of things, playing on the safe side. So I thought you were doing something different, so I was giving you props there, but here comes the rain, right? So so basically right here you have an affiliate link going here directly out of this. So technically even though you know that it's an affiliate link, even though the people that are clicking on it probably know that it's an affiliate link, you are bound by the rules of the FTC. And because of that, you need to make sure that if you are going to have a link here, that you put that that it's sponsored or an affiliate or an ad or whatever it happens to be. So in this case, it would be an affiliate, so that the people clicking on this know that it's an affiliate link. That's just like a legal thing. That's just something that you have to do. The next thing that I would do is, I know that this is like an income thing for you. However, one thing that I would recommend is, instead of doing this, because you got a decent amount of activity here, and all the people that might have clicked on that might not have even left a comment, tells me that you probably got some decent activity. So I personally would lose this, because you'll make more in the long run if you can bring more exposure to everything that you're doing at scale. So instead of having this, what I would do is I would come up here and I would say, okay, if this is the topic of my video, anything that I have that is topically similar to this video, I'm going to put into a playlist, and I'm going to link to that playlist right here. And then I'm going to use this as my call to action, which is basically your reason people should click into that playlist, and then put a link to that playlist, and then create a layback experience, or I think that's what they call it, but a layback experience for the people that click into that playlist, to where it's all content that's relevant to the video that they're watching now, so that they can, sit there and consume more of your content. Because YouTube says in the YouTube Creator Academy that the deeper that you send people into your content, or the deeper people go into YouTube from a particular video, the more likely that video is to get presented elsewhere on the platform. So because of that, it's definitely a good, a good move.
Super chat.
And Shane McLean says, thanks for that, man. I got false info that all YouTube channels have to be connected to the same mother account. So to say, no, they don't. They don't. Let's see here. So one more thing here that I was going to mention. Okay, yeah, you've also got other videos here in your description as well. So yeah, so in terms of like best practice stuff, you're doing okay. I would keep moving forward. People are obviously responding to what it is that you're doing. But one thing, another thing that I would definitely make sure that you are being mindful of, though, and I'm going to pull you back on screen here really quick if you're still here in the chat. That's the wrong one, but that's D. For those of you that aren't familiar with D. Okay, so basically over here on the side, you have your tags from TubeBuddy, right? They're showing me what your tags are. So in this situation, when you are putting tags here, you want to think about context as well. So things like live, things like era, you want to be more specific. So instead of just saying era, you want to be specific about like what era. If you are doing the, you don't want to do the as like a separate tag, right? Same thing with time, because time can mean time, the group, right? Prince's group, or his buddies, the time. It can mean time on the wall. It can mean Time magazine, right? So there's no real context given with time. So, when you're putting your tags together, just think, how can each one of these tags be used in a different way? And if it is used in a different way, then how can I modify it so that it's more specific to give better context to the video that I'm publishing. So hopefully that was helpful for you. Okay, next up on our list, we've got, let's see here, Beauty and the East. Good. See what you did there, Beauty and the East. I see what you did. See what you did. Okay, so Deo says, is there a way to recover a channel that was pre-Google? I have no idea. Never even tried. Never been in that situation. If you're in that situation, I would just hit up, I would go to the Google help pages up in the top right-hand corner. They have an area there where you can actually submit if you're having an issue of some kind, and they can help. You also might want to send a tweet to Team YouTube. Team YouTube on Twitter is a great place that will basically, they respond, to comments on a regular basis. And they can at least share links with you and stuff to send you in the right direction.
Super chat. Welcome to the Nimminati.
Danny's Custom Builds, welcome to the channel membership. Make sure that you check out the community feed. Make sure that you also, next time you're on Facebook, do a request to join Nimminati VIP. That's our members only Facebook group. And also now you get a nice little tag, a nice little play button there next to your name as well. Chains 9. I always call you Shane's for some reason. It's Chains. Chains 9 says, do discovery sources vary for better or worse competition on your videos? Playlists versus browse versus suggested and so on. Yeah, so Your sources always vary depending on what people respond to the most in the different sources. But you can also do it by design a little bit also. So like if you are, like I was saying before, if you're targeting search, then in that situation, you're going to do specific things with your title. For example, let's say that we'll use the chocolate cake example that I always give. I have like a whole section of my course that's coming out on titles and thumbnails and all that stuff. And I've built the entire thing around my chocolate cake example that I like to give. But basically, like if you're doing like a video that is sharing, like how to cook a cake, right? Or a cake recipe, then in that situation, like your search phrase might be something along the lines of, like best cake recipes for beginners. Right? So you're targeting beginners because they might be looking for recipes. Plus that makes it a little bit more long tail, which if you're not familiar with that language, that basically means a very specific keyword phrase. And then you also have cake recipes in there. So basically you have cake recipes for beginners, and then you could put a best in front of it. And then you actually have 3 things right there that you could possibly show up for, which would be best cake recipes, and cake recipes for beginners, right? So you're giving yourself 3 chances in addition to all the other things that YouTube might think that you should be placed for. So by having your title going that way, then what you're doing there is you're targeting search in that situation. Now, if you were targeting the recommendation features, then you might do something a little bit different to where you might still have cake recipes in there, but it would be something along the lines of, let's say, like 8 cake recipes, let's do cake recipe under, I don't know what a good calorie rate is for cake recipes, but let's say cake recipe under 200 calories in less than 3 minutes, something like that. To where in that situation, you're still grabbing their attention to people that have been looking around at cake recipes on YouTube, to where topically you are increasing your chances of showing up somewhere on their home pages or getting suggested somewhere. But then you're also trying to trigger them more because they're not actually looking for it. Right? So because of that, you're going to structure your title differently, and you're going to really think through, okay, when I'm putting my title together, how am I going to do this in a way and my thumbnail, because they work as a package, how am I going to do this in a way that I'm going to increase my chances of triggering somebody or just persuading somebody through the package that you put together to click on this in the recommendation sources, compared to when people are actually looking for that information, right? So you have to be a lot more aggressive when you're trying to grab somebody's attention compared to when somebody is actually looking for what it is that you make. So because of that, how you're structuring everything with your titles and thumbnails, your approach is going to be different. So just keep those things in mind. Hopefully that helped. Okay, so next up,
Super Chat.
Izzy Games says, thank you for welcoming me. I would like to ask if you have any tips, advice for a guy who just started his gaming channel. 12 subs at the moment. Hey man, high five, fist bump. Welcome to YouTube. Congratulations to you for actually taking that leap. So my advice for you, if you're just starting a channel, is there anybody else here that's just starting a YouTube channel that like just got going? You have under let's say under 50 subscribers on your YouTube channel. Just give me a hashtag yes, just so I can see, how many of you are here in the chat right now. So basically, when you are just starting a YouTube channel, it's really important to, I'm going to give you like a whole stack of stuff here, depending on how many people are, okay, yeah, so we've got a decent amount. Okay, so a few things that you need to do if you're just starting a YouTube channel. One, you need to be crystal clear with yourself about why it is that you're on YouTube in the first place. Because if you are just getting started on YouTube, wow, look at this, wow. If you're just getting started on YouTube, then in that situation, your content decisions and all of the things that you do, all the things that you deem important, are going to be skewed based on what it is that you actually are trying to do with your YouTube channel. So if you're coming onto YouTube, I recommend that you really just take a really hard look about, why am I making videos in the first place? Is this something that I'm wanting to take seriously? Is this something I'm doing as a hobby? Is this something I'm doing just to kill times until I don't have to stay inside anymore? Is it something that I'm just kind of trying my luck at just to kind of see how things go? Like really just be honest with yourself and try to think of what it is that you're actually trying to do with your channel. Because once you know why you're making content, then that can help you it can help the approach that you take to make sure that you are going after the right things that are gonna help fulfill the goals that you have. But basically, the first thing is why. Why is it that I'm putting this time into making a YouTube channel? 2, what is it that I actually want to accomplish with my YouTube channel for myself and for the people that watch my content? So if you're doing gaming, then you have to think, okay, am I doing this? If I'm doing it just for fun, then in that situation, then just turning on your camera, doing gameplay videos, and if you have 3 people come in or 16 people come in, whatever it is, then in that situation, like your mission accomplished, right? Because you're having fun, you're playing the game, you got a few people hanging out watching, you're doing the thing, right? So goal accomplished. Now, if you're like, you know what, I need to turn this into something that is going to be like an additional revenue source, then the game changes. It completely changes, because then you have to start taking everything seriously. You have to start monitoring how fast you're getting to that milestone of being able to monetize your channel from an ad perspective. You have to think about all of the different ways that you might be able to monetize your channel, and you have to start making content around being able to facilitate all the different ways that you could monetize your channel so that you can quickly turn it into a additional income source. So because of that, you know, knowing what it is that you want out of your channel, why you're making content, those things will help drive all of your decisions around YouTube. So that's the very first thing. In addition to that, what you want to do is you want to make sure that that you're really focused right now. If you're just getting started, that you're really focused on a particular type of content. When people are coming onto YouTube, the one thing that everybody says, hey, I'm interested, I'm a human being, I'm interested in like tons of different things, and I just want to make content about whatever. Okay, and that's fair. Everybody's like that. Just as a human, we're all interested in a bunch of different things. So the downside of that is the people that are watching your content are also interested in a lot of different things, but the probability of all of those things lining up with yours is going to be pretty low. And because of that, your conversion to actually get people to see your channel as an asset for them, or to see real value in what it is that you're doing, is going to be a lot less, right? Because all the stars are going to have to align for every person that comes in. So what you need to do is you need to say, okay, this is what I'm trying to accomplish with my channel. This is why I'm doing this. Then the type of content that I'm going to make is going to be this specific type of content. So in your case, if you're doing gaming videos, going after gaming videos that are like you know, like a certain genre of games. Like, let's say if you don't want to be stuck into like a specific game, let's say that you're going after like first-person shooters, because there's a higher probability of people that are playing one first-person shooter being into another first-person shooter games because they like playing first-person shooter games or racing games or whatever. So if you don't want to be pigeonholed into a game, then try to at least be pigeonholed into a type of game, so that you can start collecting an audience of people that are into that particular game or that type of game, so that you can build your core audience. Because as somebody that's just starting out, hey, Dave Hansen, what's up, dude? Nice to see you in here. As you are just starting out, the really important thing that you have to do is you have to build a foundation for your channel. And the way that you do that is by people seeing value in what it is that you're doing, and seeing your channel as a resource for the type of content that you make. So it doesn't mean that you have to be a resource channel. It means that they have to look at your channel as a resource for that type of content. Just like you have the Discovery Channel on TV, to where, you know, hey, if I want to watch, you know, I don't know what it's like these days, because I haven't been in the States I haven't watched Discovery Channel even when I was in the States. But basically, for whatever type of media you consume, they put everything into little boxes based around the different interests that people have. And you have to do that same exact thing on your YouTube channel, so that you really focus on a particular type of person that you're trying to reach, and you make content that person enjoys, and you have the crossover, because you want to enjoy what it is that you're doing as well, right? So you have to make sure that you're balancing those two things. And then within that, try not to get discouraged. If you're a new content creator, you are just getting the ball rolling and all this stuff, anybody that has any experience in the chat can tell you that it's tough, right? Like it's tough because you have to continually make content. You have to, at least on a somewhat regular basis, go into your stats and try to figure out, you know, hey, people seem to respond to this better than the other stuff that I do. And it's just like a constant, you know, you're putting out content day in, day out, day in, day out. You're not every day, but you know what I mean? On a regular basis, you're putting out content, and it's tough. And it can be tough also because your expectations of, well, I've put out 10 videos, I should have X amount of views or X amount of subscribers, where this other person put out 10 videos. Now they have like way more views or way more subscribers than I do. You might be that person that's way ahead, or you might be that person that's in the very back of the line for all the new people that are coming into your space. But what you need to do as a new content creator is you need to say, okay, this is what I'm working with. My goal, now that I know what it is that I'm doing, now I know who it is that I'm making the content for and the specific type of content that I'm making and what it is that I'm trying to accomplish with my channel. Now, all I need to focus on is how do I get people to click on what it is that I'm doing, and how do I make a piece of content that when they come in and watch this, to where they're like, oh yeah, I'm definitely, I need to subscribe to this channel. I need to come back and watch more of this content, or I really want to come back and watch more of this content, right? And you just have to focus on over and over again, just making more and more content so that you can learn. People subscribe to this type of content when I do it more than when I make this type of content. When my thumbnails look like this, or I structure my titles in this specific way, then people click on it more than when I do it in this way. And you just have to go through that process over and over and over again. And it's long and it's hard and it takes time, right? So just hang in there if you're a new content creator, because there is a ton of stuff to learn. But at the very core of everything, at the very foundation of everything that's happening, you have to know why it is that you're uploading content in the first place. You have to know who it is that you're making your content for, what it is that you want out of it, okay? Super important, because those things will define everything else that happens. Even like when you get to the point to where it's like, hey, I'm just starting now. I don't even have 100 subscribers yet. But when you get to 100,000 subscribers, you get to 50,000 subscribers. Or a friend of mine, he has a crypto channel at 4,000 subscribers. He had a bunch of crypto people trying to sponsor his content. But like when you get to those milestones, when you know what it is that you want and people do start reaching out for sponsorships and things like that, you'll immediately know, hey, this is a good fit for what it is that I do, and this is a good fit for the people that watch my content, right? So knowing all of those things in terms of what it is that you want, who it is that you're trying to reach, you know, that whole thing, that will help all of your decisions along the way. Makes it easier. Okay, so Beauty in the East, we got that one. And I'm going to go into my admin panel here. I think that I had some super chats come in. I want to make sure that I get those addressed here really quick. Let's see here. So while that's loading, I'm just going to go into the chat here really quick while I'm trying to get into the back end here of the channel. Improve your guitar skills says, what device do you use to get your camera? Man, it just scrolled past. Okay. What device do you use to get your camera to work with StreamYard? So basically now Canon just came out. If you're using a Canon camera, they just came out with a EOS utility that allows you. It's what I'm actually testing on this stream right now, because the Cam Link, I've got a few of the Cam Links, and not to throw shade on them in any way, shape, or form, because they're always great. With every other camera, they're great, and they've been great for a while. But for whatever reason, the Cam Link on this camera has been messing up the last few streams, and it might happen again. I don't know. But basically, if it happens again, then I know it's the camera. But the Cam Link, I have weird problems with this. Like when I plug it into the front and then I plug another one into the back where they're going to different USB ports, which is how you're supposed to do it, sometimes everything will just like freeze up. And then in order to, even when you're just starting the computer, if they're already plugged in, and in order to get everything to start functioning again, you have to actually unplug it and plug it back in, and then it's fine. So little things like that are kind of weird. But basically, if you're using something else, then you can use a Cam Link, non-sponsored, by the way. They didn't send me this or anything. These are just cool. But basically, if you're trying to plug your camera into a computer, then you can use this. But you have to make sure it has clean HDMI out, whatever camera that you have. But if you're using a camera, then or a Canon, then you can use the free EOS software, which will alleviate this. If you're using Ecamm on a Mac, then in that situation, then you can just plug directly into the HDMI of that. And Ecamm has their own converter that will actually just pull the camera right into. So a lot of different options for you there, connecting it all. So Panasonic, yeah, so your HDMI out, you'd be able to use it with Ecamm, you'd be able to use it with a Cam Link. You might want to look and see if they do have a USB option, just like Canon does. I would definitely look into that. Okay, so let me go here, since that page loaded. Oh, it's not true. Okay, Launchpad Astronomy said that that's not true about Ecamm. Okay, so that's what they told me. Because basically I hit them up. I just did some training stuff for them about live streaming. And I had them give me like a big list of like all the stuff that Ecamm can do. And that's actually what they told me. My Sony plugged into this without any issues. Or did I use a Cam Link with it? No, I think I was able to plug my Sony directly into it. What camera are you using? You'll get a clean image in Ecamm. Okay, might have to find the accent C key. Can you elaborate on when you need a market video sponsored? Okay, so Paul Peck Drywall Tube, really quick while we're waiting for that to come in so we can get clarified on Ecamm, just so I make sure I'm giving you the right information here. And thanks for bringing that up, Christian. I'm glad you're helping to fix that problem. Oh, he says it's clean, but it's not smooth. Okay. So with that, you might want to mess with like the frame rates. I'll experiment with that now that you've mentioned that you've had trouble with it, and I'll try to figure out a workaround. because I enjoy doing that sort of thing. Let's see here. Paul Peck says, can you elaborate on when you need the market video sponsored? Like when you do and when you don't? Thank you. If somebody gives you something for your video, then in that particular case, then it's sponsored. If they give you something, okay, like we'll just use, we'll use Camlink. Let's go Elgato. But we'll just use a Camlink, right? So in this situation, since they didn't pay me for this, I can talk about this all day long. They didn't pay me for this and they didn't give this to me. And I've never done any type of business with Elgato outside of buying their products. So because of that, I can freely talk about this all day long. And I can recommend it if I want to. I can bash it if I want to. I can say whatever I want about this particular device. And because I've never had any interaction with them, then there's no issue there. However, if they sent this to me and they're like, hey, Nick, we just want you to use this. We think it's fantastic. We think it'd be good. We love your live streams. We think it'd be awesome if you'd use our product with your live streams. All of a sudden, this just became sponsored because they gave it to me. Even though this particular live stream wouldn't be the one that they, gave it to me for necessarily, but because they gave it to me technically, then it's sponsored because I didn't have to pay for it and they are getting promotion in exchange. And then outside of that, of course, if they pay you for it, then in that situation, that's also a sponsored thing. Now, in terms of like collaborations, I actually sent them an email and they didn't give me a clear response on it. But in terms of collaborations, because sometimes you'll have things happen to where somebody would offer to pay you for something, but then you can say, hey, I'll tell you what, instead of, paying me to mention your website, why don't you, let me do a guest post on your website and you embed my video there and we can just take that approach. I didn't get anything clear from them on that situation. So you might want to email them as well to see if you can get any clarity on that one. But if they would have normally paid you, but then you do some type of an additional exchange, then in that situation, I think you start riding the gray line. But I would definitely hit them up in that particular situation. So on the Ecamm thing, did we get that taken care of? Okay, so the point I'm making is that you can't use just any camera. Okay. All fixed. So on Ecamm, you cannot use just any camera. So that's the official word from Christian there. So we've got that covered. So Dave says that the Canon sub out does get a little choppy compared to the Camlink, in my opinion. In my testing. Also, no audio in the USB feed, so must use the external mic plugged into the computer, which can introduce sound sync issues. Yeah, absolutely. And with that, actually, is this synced? Just as a heads up, just give me a yes or no if the audio is coming through synced on whatever device you happen to be watching it on. Because this is my first time using this in this particular situation. Roger Wakefield in the house. What's up, dude? Nice to see you. Okay, so let me open the super chat thing, which I was trying to do here just a few minutes ago. And see, discovery sources, we got that one. Thank you for welcoming me. Got that one. Got that. Thanks for the last time. Did overview. Okay, yeah. So I think I was caught up there. So all good. All gravy.
Super chat.
Let's see here. Izzy Game says, thank you very much for your advice. It was very helpful. I will stay focused and try hard, even though I have to combine it with my regular job. Yeah, that's the tough part of a lot of content creators, right? Is that balance. Luckily for me, because I was self-employed when I was first starting on YouTube, so that gave me the opportunity to where I could dictate where I was spending my time instead of like being forced to spend time and, I have to spend a certain block of time in this location and stuff like that. So, so that gave me a bit of an advantage in that situation, but I still did have that business to run and things like that. And even now I have businesses that I run around my channel that I have to tend to as well. So I feel you in terms of, having to actually work and produce content as well.
Super chat.
S.E. Chilcuddy says, do fan mail / gift counts, gifts count as sponsorship? Fan mail, no, because it's just people that are just giving you random stuff and they're not associated with the company. If it's a gift, if Camlink were to have sent me this, if Elgato would have sent me this and said, hey, Nick, we just want you to have this, then technically, because they're giving it to me, even though they're not on paper expecting anything in return, they're giving it to me because they want me to mention it, right? In that situation. So gifts still do fall under that. So an easy thing to do in that situation is if they give you something, just think, is it a company giving it to me or is it a person? If it's just a general person giving me just some random thing, then in that situation, it's all good. If it's a company, then in that situation, it's safer to market a sponsor. All right. Next up on the list, all things YouTube. says they've been on you, or they upload 1 time per week or more. Says, how do you grow an audience on YouTube? And the goal of the channel is to help make YouTube a better place. And the question is, why did YouTube remove the go to channel feature when hovering over a comment on live streams? I have no idea. No idea. The only thing that I can possibly think, and I'm spitballing this, I have no idea. But the only thing that I could possibly think would be that after everybody had to go inside and YouTube employees had to start working from home and that sort of thing because of the current situation, I'm thinking that maybe they did that as a way to kind of cut down on live stream spam because bots are a little bit ridiculous at the moment. And it might be for that reason, just to kind of keep people from clicking over and all of that. Or it could just be a functionality thing where they're like, yeah, let's just take that out. But I preferred it because that made it easier when I wanted to look at somebody's channel. Next question is from A Game. A Game, they upload every other day, and it's a gaming channel. And the goal of the channel is to show off my gameplay skills and to post some tutorial videos about the game and the specific hero I play. And the question is how to simply maximize SEO. I've seen tons of videos about it, but nothing works. Maybe I can understand from your viewpoint. Okay, so here's the thing. If you've been watching a lot of videos, when it comes to SEO on YouTube, it's really not rocket science. It's not something like if you watch 10 videos on SEO from different creators so that you can get different perspectives on what everybody finds important and the different things that people have found to work, you're going to find there's a lot of things that are extremely similar, right? So when it comes to SEO on YouTube, the one thing that always breaks in terms of people saying, hey, I watched this person, I watched this person, I watched you, I watched this person, I watched this person, I watched this person, and none of the stuff that anybody's saying is working. Well, the reason for that is because you can have the best metadata in the world, which is basically your title, tags, and description, and technically your captions. You can have the best metadata in the world, but if people aren't clicking on your videos and on your thumbnails and your titles, and they're not actually watching and enjoying the content, and they're not further engaging in that content, then you're not gonna rank, right? Because the thing is when you are trying to rank against someone else in search, you have to be able to compete with those other videos that are there for those search positions. Because if you can't compete, then you're going to quickly get demoted. Because how YouTube works, just to simplify everything, is how YouTube works is when it comes to search or even home pages, recommended, whatever, the suggested column, whatever. When videos are shown on YouTube, let's say that you have 10 videos, right? Let's say you have 10 videos. So if your video is one of those 10 videos and YouTube shows on page load those videos, those 10 videos to a sample of people, based on the ones that people click on, those are the ones that are going to end up staying there, right? Those are the ones that are going to move to the top of the search results. Those are the ones that are going to move to the top of the suggested column, the ones that they click on and they get enough watch time per impression to be able to compete. Those are the ones that stay in those spots. The ones that won't stay in those spots are the ones that will show up there and then people don't click on them because they're clicking on the stuff that that is better targeted, or that has a more alluring thumbnail, or that has a better title that triggers them more, whatever that happens to be. But those are the ones that'll stay there because those are actually getting people to respond to what it is that they're doing. So when you're putting the keywords in to your title and you're putting the keyword phrase in your title, even if you're going like really long tail with it, even if you're putting it in your description, even if you are using tags or not, whatever you decide to do, at the end of the day, your ability to rank is going to ultimately come down to, one, making sure that you do go for, keywords or phrases that are a tad, well, I won't even say less competitive, just that you have a chance to compete for in terms of like you see some weak links in there. But basically going for those and being able to get people to click and watch your stuff, right? At a competitive rate. So if you can't compete, then having a keyword in your title, description, and tags isn't going to help. So you have to be able to get people to click. You have to go through that. You have to go through that process. So one of the things is of being a new content creator that kind of is part of the process is that when you're first getting started, there's so much stuff that you have to learn that it's really easy to get focused on the easier things, right? Which are, I can just type in some text into my title and my description, and then I'm good to go. Whereas the more difficult things are, okay, why did people click on this thumbnail and this title more than they clicked on the ones in my other videos? and really trying to dig in and try to make theories of why that would have happened. And then from those theories, start experimenting with them with additional content so that you can prove or disprove the theories that you have over a nice sample of videos. Same exact thing comes to, getting people to watch your content for an acceptable amount of time or a competitive amount of time. It's getting people to come in, they click on your stuff, and then they're watching it, and then going through that difficult process of saying, okay, I thought this was a cool thing, but people didn't respond to it in this video. Let me see if they responded to it in the other videos. Oh, they didn't respond to it there either. Or in this video they did, but in the other 4 they didn't. I wonder why that is. Was it topical? Was it that this one was getting more search traffic compared to homepage traffic, so it was tapping into different expectations when people were actually clicking on that content? Like, what was the reason that I think that they could have responded differently there? And then you have to start breaking that stuff down. Like, that's the hard part of YouTube. But to make it easy, like, these things are important, right? And it's good that you're asking these questions about like SEO and all of that. But at the end of the day, part of all of it, the core of everything on YouTube is your ability to get people to click on your thumbnails and titles and watch your content and enjoy your content. That's it. Like, that's the core of everything else. The nuance is, making sure that you're using the right keywords and that you're targeting the keyword phrases and that you're keeping up in terms of researching the competition to make sure that you are going for things that you actually have a chance to rank for, and that you are being aware of what's happening in your space. So if you notice, hey, this content creator is putting out, videos about this particular thing and they're going like really well, and then this other person's doing it too, then hey, these are going really well. Maybe if it's a good fit for what it is that I'm doing, I should hop on the trends that they're doing because they're having a lot of traffic, they're competitors of mine, and that means that there's a really good chance, because YouTube typically ends up showing our content together anyway, there's a really good chance that I might actually end up being suggested next to their videos that are performing well, right? Like, you really got to dig in and look at things from that perspective, instead of just looking at, putting the right keywords in my title and description.
Super Chat.
Flame with A4 says, I would love your opinion on my channel. Almost 7,000 subscribers. High five and fist bump. So I looked at a couple channels today. We're actually not pulling up any more channels today, unfortunately. Just pulling channels up on screen isn't something I do a lot in the live streams anymore these days anyway. But just as a heads up, I'm not pulling them up anymore for the rest of the stream. Let's see here. It says, Hype Squad Gaming says, I don't get views. Yeah, all of the stuff. So if you're not getting views, anybody, if you're just joining the stream and you're not getting views on your videos, make sure that you go and you rewatch the stream, because, a lot of things get explained during this live stream that will really help you with what it is that you're doing. And even though I'm answering someone else's question from the forum, like, pull up your channel, right? I always recommend pull up your channel and like look at your channel and think to yourself like, okay, hey, is the stuff that that he's talking about, like, am I doing that in my channel? Am I doing that in my videos? He's talking about these stats. Where do I find these? Let me go into my analytics and see if I can find the stats that he's talking about for my audience retention, to see how people are responding, my click-through rate to see how people are responding, like that kind of thing. Like, pull up your channel, dig in, roll up your sleeves. You know what I mean? Roll up your sleeves and dig in, because that'll be the way to, that's the best way to win. Okay, so next up on the list here is from A.K. Fong OP Mope channel. OP Mope. Official Mope channel. Fong OP Mope channel. I called it OP Mope. I don't know what was going on there. Okay, so says, I have a gaming channel about a specific IO game. I want to be a little bit famous and have happy time to chat with the audience. Actually, in the beginning, my goal is to monetize. How can I fill in good and popular tags? It's not about filling in good and popular tags. It's about filling in tags that are relevant to your content. It's not just your tags. It's your tags, it's your description, it's your title, making sure that your title is relevant to the video that you are putting out, making sure that that title is relevant to the things that the people that you're trying to reach care about or would care about. Like, it's more than just finding popular tags. And just as a heads up, like, some people will even take tags of like popular YouTube creators and they'll use them in their tags because they think that's a way to kind of hack YouTube, but it's not. It's actually against the community guidelines, and you can actually get strikes because of it. So just as a heads up on that, if you're somebody that's doing that. So SE Chilcuddy says, Daryl East has some good videos on thumbnail experimentation. He absolutely does. He has some great videos on it. Matt Geelan at Little Monster Media Company also has some great tutorials on that as well. I recommend both of those channels. They're both in my sidebar. If you go to my channel page, you'll find them there, along with a bunch of other content creators that make similar content. But both of their channels, you should watch everything on both of their channels, and literally every channel that's in the sidebar there. Let's see here. Next up on the list is Fly Ride. What's up, dude? What's up, Fly Ride? Nice to see you in the chat, man. Says, it's an automotive live stream. The goal is education. The question is, do you have advice for setting up scenes in OBS with your thoughts or templates for multiple different views with the panels and text you use and why you use it during your live streams? They seem effective AF. They are. They absolutely are effective. So let me change the screen here. Will this one do it? Nope. Let me see if I can go in here and change this so that, see here, that's D's, that's not it. Yes, I'm looking for, let me just see if I can just do a split here. I'm just gonna do this on the fly and we're just gonna see what happens. Fingers crossed, everything might break right here, but we're gonna do it anyway. Okay, so, boom. Did we get it? Ah, no, we didn't. Okay, we're going to try it one more time. That's the form that I'm pulling the questions from, by the way. Okay, done. And boom, there we go. Okay, so wow, this is busy. So let me take that off. Okay, so basically what you're seeing here, and you see this like infinite window here in the middle, but basically this is my setup, and I'm going to actually turn my camera off here as well so that you can just see what's going on. So basically what you see down here, for anybody that does any live streaming stuff, is this is all my scenes, and this one's actually a little bit messy right now, but this one right here is basically all the different scenes that I have, right? So basically I have my main room, which this is just like one full camera, and then I have the subscribe, which is that subscribe call to action that I was showing before. The TubeBuddy screen, which is just a little thing that pops up that has the TubeBuddy URL, the questions to let people know there. My Video Leap screen, just so I can bring attention to them because they're a sponsor. Video Leap. Place It, so I can bring attention to them. Also a sponsor. Place It. Easy to use templates and YouTube graphics and a bunch of other really cool stuff for content creators over at Place It. A link in the video description will save you 15% off your account there, by the way. But basically, let's see here. We've got Place It. And then these I have like my product slideshow left, and that's basically like my Pad Planet thing, which is my planner for iPads. If you're an iPad user, you should have that. It's my Tuber Tools website. It's my Comments Over Coffee podcast, like that kind of stuff. And the product slideshow on the right is, again, it's Tuber Tools. And then my Best Creator Tools, which is like a resource site for content creators as well. And then, of course, I got Brian G. Johnson's book over here as well for Tube Ritual in case he swings by. But typically we have this here because we have his book sitting on the desk. So typically that's there. I got split screen here as well. But basically that's the idea is within that you build all the different scenes. So the only recommendations that I really have when it comes to that is that you make sure that you are building things out and then kind of grouping things together. So when you're putting the scenes together, just think about like, okay, all the different things that I'm trying to bring attention to in my stream, how can I do that in the most efficient way possible? And then you might want to think of like slideshows and, like that kind of stuff. But in terms of like the different angles like we do in the studio, that's a different situation because there we've got like different cameras coming in and all of that. But it's still the same idea though, is you just basically build out the different scenes, and then within the different scenes, you have the different sources, and then you just kind of group it all together. So I have a thing that I'm doing. So let's see here, second screen. Let me turn this back on. So if you see like the little thing right down here in the bottom left, I'll actually change the display capture here so it's not as distracting. Okay. So like the screen right here that you see, like with this and all the motion stuff that's going on in the background. So basically for my website, Tuber Tools, we're getting ready to launch tons of live stream stuff into there. It's all being built right now. And this is actually one of the pieces from it. But basically, the thing with those, and the really cool thing about Streamlabs specifically, and you can do this in a different way inside of OBS, but basically, like I can build this entire structure inside of Streamlabs for those of you that are live streamers. You can build, even if you're making your own graphics, whatever, you can build this entire structure in your live stream, and then you can actually export it out as an overlay file, and then you can like give it to somebody else, and then they can just import that overlay file, and everything pops into place. The camera's in the right position. They might have to assign the actual camera, but the camera itself's in the right position. You have like the widgets if you've included any alerts or anything like that in your stuff that pops up, the chat boxes that are there, like that kind of stuff. But everything's in place. The graphics are there, like everything. Like it's just ready to go, like right out of the box. It's absolutely awesome. So if you're building your own graphics, or if you have other people that build your graphics, try, if you're a Streamlabs user, have them start sending you the overlay files. All right, next question that we have on our list is from Beats of the Heart, Lyrics of the Soul. Been on YouTube for less than 6 months. They do a music, lyrics, and in-depth song lyrical breakdowns. The goal of the channel is to spread amazing music to all. Tanya Stanley, what's going on? Nice to see you here. Okay, so Tanya Stanley says, I recently upgraded my TubeBuddy, but I'm finding it hard to know how TuberTools works. Any video to watch on that? So TuberTools is a totally different thing. So TubeBuddy is the browser extension. TuberTools, and I like work with them on some stuff, but like they're a sponsor of the live stream. I promote them as an affiliate. I'm good friends with like all the people there. Like that's an awesome team. And TuberTools is a completely different thing. Like TubeBuddy is a browser tool for content creators. TuberTools is like a video graphics site. So like if you need like lower thirds, live streaming graphics, transitions, like that kind of stuff, that's what TuberTools is. Even like the little things that pop up down in the corner, like the little subscribe icon, like those are there, the branding watermarks, that kind of stuff. But that's all over at TuberTools. So TuberTools has a store, but then there's also a membership area that has like more stuff than what's in the actual store itself. So it's just exclusive for the members that are there. So so that's the difference between those two things. And then Best Creator Tools, which is another thing, that's actually just a resource site to where, because people are always asking me, hey, what do you use for this? What's the best editing software? What's the best apps? What's the best streaming software? You know, what options do I have for all this different stuff? So basically I made Best Creator Tools as nothing more than a place where I can send people so that they can, you know, just know all of the stuff that I recommend and all the stuff that I use for what it is that I do. Hopefully that answered your question. Juliet Uzor, hope I'm saying that right. Hope that you are doing well. Saying the image is super crisp in today's stream. Yeah, today I'm using Streamlabs instead of StreamYard. So like here I can control my bit rate and I can control all that stuff compared to StreamYard where everything's automatic. StreamYard's 1,000 times easier to use, but this one definitely will push through a better image. All right, next question on the list is, oh, here we go. So the goal of the channel was to spread music to all. And the question is, do impressions we see when logged into our account count as clicked impressions? When doing keyword research, my videos pop up. Does that count as an unclicked impression? I also use my channel as my home screen. Would that be impressing? Here's the thing. Don't even worry about it, right? Like your limited usage of YouTube isn't going to impact your videos in any way, shape, or form. Okay, so don't even worry about it. Focus more on what's happening outside of you, right? So all you have to do is just say, okay, the 3 times that I might see my video on YouTube, it's not going to hurt you in any way. Okay. Like the thing that's going to hurt you is when YouTube shows your video to 1,000 people and nobody clicks on it. That's what's going to hurt you. If YouTube shows your video to 500 people or 100 people and nobody clicks on it, that's what's going to hurt you. It's not going to be the few, it's not going to be the few impressions that you gave. And YouTube is smart enough to know that you're logged in, it's your account and all of that stuff. So I wouldn't even worry about it. All right. Next question that we have on the list is from, that's a really good question though. Next question on the list is from MPI Tech. MPI Tech says they upload every other day. They've been making videos for less than a month. The channel is tutorials. The goal of the channel is to make what I love. And the question is, I can't take more subscribers and I can't find small channels like mine to collab with in the same niche. Okay. Then you have to do your own thing, right? So if you can't find other people to collab with in the same niche, then you just have to grind it out and move forward. So I think it's Steve Martin and Brian G. Johnson just mentioned this on another live stream. It might've been last week or it might've been the TubeBuddy stream. I can't remember, but basically, you know, it was like Steve Martin. Steve Martin said something about, you being so great that they can't ignore you. So like if you're the person in your niche and you are putting out content and like nobody in the niche is wanting to collaborate with you, then be better than those people, right? Be better than those people, put out better content than they're putting out. And then eventually they'll want to collaborate with you. And at that point in time, then you'll be able to make the decision on if you want to collaborate with them or not, which I recommend that you do. But in that situation, you're going to be able to make that call instead of trying to reach out to them. So put out content, focus on making awesome content for the people that are coming to your channel. And the better you get at doing that, the more likely people are going to be to collaborate with you as well. Because if people are noticing, wow, this content's really good, it's going to open up tons of doors for you. For example, there's a gamer, and I actually have to follow up with him. And it was actually my fault that I haven't followed up with him yet. But there's a gamer. His content's so good, and the way that he's doing things is so unique that he ended up being recommended by YouTube on their like Creators on the Rise thing. And I connected with him on Twitter, and he watches my content. And one of the things that I was telling him is I was like, dude, you're kind of just getting going. I was like, but I would love to have you on the channel because like you're like the way that the approach that you're taking, other gamers need to see what's going on. Other gamers need to hear this. So I want you to come on the channel and I want you to, share that information with them. And he agreed to do it. I just have to follow up with him to work out the details of it. But basically, like channel size doesn't matter if you're making awesome content. You're making awesome content that people really enjoy, and it's clear. Like looking at it from the outside, if somebody's never been introduced to your channel before, they go to it and they're like, wow, this is good stuff. Right there, the door just opened, right? If it's like, this content isn't that great, or it's okay, then it's like, okay, yeah, maybe. But like if they come to your channel, they're like, wow, this is good. This is really good. Then right there, the door immediately opens for collaborations. Because one of the things that's going to happen is when you try to reach out to people for collabs, when you try to reach out to people, the first thing they're going to do is they're going to look at your channel, right? Some people will look at how many subscribers they have. Other people are going to look and be like, what kind of content are they putting out? Is it any good? Because that's going to be what they care about. So make awesome stuff and then let people catch up to you. Immortal Gamers says that they upload 1 time per week or more. They've been making videos for 1 year or more. They have a gaming channel as well. Competitive gamer, but doing part-time YouTube is the goal of the channel. It says, my channel is at 92,000, but my subscribers got inactive. What to do? You got to figure out where that transition happened. If you're at 90,000 subscribers, 92,000 subscribers, and your subscribers got inactive, then you have to figure out why. So it might have been that you switched games. It might have been that you started promoting things too much. It might have been that you just stopped doing whatever it was that they subscribed to you for. Maybe when you first started out, you were humble because you were just trying to get the ball rolling, and then now you're arrogant because you have 90,000 subscribers. I'm not saying that this is the case. I'm just saying that people change. So because of that, maybe like that nuance in your personality made people not respond to you as much and things like that. So there's a lot of different variables. So what you need to do is you need to go back and you need to start looking and say, okay, why are people responding here? And then around this 3-month period of time, people stopped responding. Why? And what do I have to do to start getting people to respond again? Did you start making different types of content? Did you start packaging it in a different way? Did you start being careless about your titles? Or did you start caring too much about your titles and thumbnails to where before you were just kind of doing your thing and it was working, and then you started getting, like too technical, and then everything got kind of, broken. so kind of dig in and try to figure that out, because like if you got there, then you can get the ball rolling again. You just have to dig in and figure it out. Next up is from Fair YT, and they've been making videos for 1 year or more. And the channel is gaming, but still experimenting. And the goal of the channel is trying to connect with others, learn as I go, and gain a bit more confidence online. The question is cheap ways to sound dampen. I'm set up in a closet and I have blankets hanging from everywhere at the moment. So here's the thing. If you're trying to, let's see here. Jackie Hurrick's food reviews. I wouldn't use any of the free website places. I wouldn't use PhotoJet. I wouldn't use like any of the, like if it's one of the places to where like you have a website, but then they put like a little tiny like watermark or ad or something on there, like I would not do that, because that detracts from what it is that you're doing. You can literally get a hosting account for like $5 a month to get you started. A hosting account for $5 a month, get a theme, like a WordPress theme for like $40. Put it all together, import like a pre-made theme, make some minor changes to it, spend, a day putting it all together, and have like an actual like solid site, instead of just like instead of something that somebody else is going to put their stuff on top of. But basically, The cheap way to sound dampen, you're doing it the right way in terms of blankets. Also, you know, putting any type of rugs or carpet on the floor can be beneficial as well. If you don't have rugs or carpet, having another blanket and just throwing it on the floor before you record can also help reduce some of the bounce that's happening around the room from the audio that's happening. If you're doing any type of voiceover stuff, and this is going to sound bizarre, but if you're in like a bigger room and you are getting all this, you know, feedback from what's going on or all this reverb, then you can literally take a blanket and you can put it like over you like this, and it sounds weird, but trust me here, you can just take the blanket and put it over you like this while you're doing your voiceover, and just by doing that alone, you're going to massively improve your sound quality in terms of cutting down all the reverb. Yeah, another thing too is typically, I was saying that there's no watermark though. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I personally wouldn't go that route because I like to have a little bit more control. You know, if you're building like a web asset of any kind. Also, you know, on the back end, I'm guessing that they're going to be pretty limited as well. D Nimmin in the house. What is up, D? Nice to see you hanging out here in the live chat. You've actually been here in spirit a few times here during the stream as well. So nice to see you hanging out in the chat. Wish you were in this spot, like really in this spot. I'm in Streamlabs today, though, not in StreamYard, but I wish that you were really in this spot here locally. But unfortunately, you are trapped. You're trapped. He's trapped in Mexico. So again, hey, like I mentioned before, give D a congrats. He crossed 90,000 subscribers just the other day. So high five and fist bump to D for crossing that 90,000. Just give a hashtag congrats to D for crossing that milestone. So, Love Paul Audio
Super Chat
says, is it advisable to stick to my weekly stream schedule? I'm just starting out and I have 25 subs so far, UK side. So if you are, if you're streaming, depending on what it is that you're trying to accomplish with your YouTube channel, then sure, keep it consistent. But if you don't have anybody actually coming into the stream and there's not like a lot of replay value there yet, in terms of like when the stream starts, it feels kind of like a live stream and not like a nice piece of video content that people are going to be likely to respond to. In that situation, then I would focus more on video content right now. And then once you get the ball rolling a little bit, then start experimenting like, hey, now that I've got, 200 subscribers, I'm going to try to live stream. Now that I've got 500, I'm going to try it again. Now that I've got 1,000, I'm going to try it again. And just keep experimenting with it until you start to get at least some activity, some people coming in and hanging out in your live stream, just so that you have some people to talk to while they're in there and that sort of thing. But I wouldn't do the weekly schedule right now. I would focus that stream time on making video content because video content is most likely going to bring you bigger gains because that's just the typical expectation on YouTube is video content. And live streams are really hard to do in a way to where they're excellent on the replay value in terms of somebody clicks it, they've never heard of you before, never been to your channel before. They're going to click on a thumbnail based on whatever it is that you are promising them on the outside, on the thumbnail and your title. They're going to click on that. They're going to come in and then they're going to get a pre-recorded live experience instead of a video experience. So because of that, I would just be mindful of what it is that you're trying to do. And I personally, if I was you, I would definitely put out video content to get the ball rolling. All right. Next up, we've got, did I do this one already? Okay, yeah, we did the sound. Next up, we've got Gaming with Will. Gaming with Will says, the goal of the channel is to get subs and likes. Says, how do you make your own gaming videos popular? You don't get to decide it, unfortunately. It's the people that are watching the content that get to decide if it's popular or not. Because what makes a video popular is people click on it a lot and people watch it till the end. Right? So if like making your own videos popular, the way that you do that is over time, you learn how to get people to respond to your thumbnails and titles more. You learn how to get people to watch more. You learn how to get people to engage more with what it is that you're doing. Like that's how you do it over time. But in terms of like, hey, I'm just going to sit down, I'm going to make this video, bam, it's going to be a popular viral video. That's really, really tough to do. Not saying you can't, maybe you can, but that's tough to do just to like, oh, well, just do this, and then you're going to have a popular video. It doesn't work that way because every channel, every video, they're like their own entities in terms of how people respond to them. So because of that, every video that's put out is treated differently and responded to differently by the people that are presented that video on YouTube. Mousy Lee.
Super Chat.
Leia Lee says, I'm a few subs from 1,000, did it in 4 months thanks to UD and others' advice. Always solid. High five and fist bump to you for crossing the 1,000 subscriber milestone almost. I'm sure because you said that, you'll probably get it right here in a matter of seconds. But but high five and fist bump to you for that. That's a wonderful accomplishment. And you've already gotten your domain, not your domain name, but your custom URL, I hope. So now you are going to, as long as you've hit that 4,000 hours of watch time, then you'll be in the partner program as well after you go through the process of getting that to happen. So high five and fist bump to you. Well done. A lot of people never make it that far. So well done. Duty Ron says, hello, Nick. Happy Mother's Day to all the great moms out there. Absolutely. And Mom, just in case you happen to be watching this live stream, happy Mother's Day to you. And if anybody in the live chat right now is a mom, let's get a hashtag mom. If there's anybody here that's a mom, just give me a hashtag mom. And happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there. I'm in Thailand, so we don't get all that advertising. So I actually didn't realize that it was Mother's Day, so thank you. Okay, so we got a lot of moms in here. Okay. Oh, look at all that. Nice. Nice. Yeah, my mom, I should have done it for Mother's Day. But my mom, or Dee's and I moms, she actually wants a Mominati shirt instead of Nimminati. She wants a Mominati shirt. I just haven't made it yet. Learn English with Muhammad says that they have an education channel. Helping and inspiring people is the goal of the channel. And the question says, hey, Nick, I just want to say thanks. And is putting tags on old videos good, or should I just focus on new videos? Absolutely. What you want to do, it's not necessarily tags, but what you do want to do is, hey, I just want to put a spotlight here on Professor Nez says, dad who loves his wife, who is an amazing mom. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Yeah, so lots of moms in here. Very, very cool. And pet moms as well. Yeah, very good. Very good. So yeah, happy Mother's Day to everybody. But basically, with old videos, if people are watching the videos and they are, they're actually responding to the video itself, but you're just having trouble actually getting them into that video, then updating your thumbnail, testing it in TubeBuddy so that you make sure that you get enough, make sure that you're making the right choices there. But basically, updating your thumbnails, updating your titles, like that can be advantageous to you, because basically how that works is, if people are already responding to the content, like once they get to the video, they're watching it for a fair amount of time, then if you do change the thumbnail and title, then you're creating a different expectation when somebody clicks on that thumbnail and title. And you're also, through that, you're experimenting with being able to trigger people more. So if you do trigger people more with that, then you are going to make your videos perform better if the update that you make is something that people respond to more. Now, if the update that you make is something that people don't respond to more, then in that situation, you're going to be working against yourself, and you're going to end up hurting the video even more by making that change. So when you're doing it, just make sure that you're thinking through all of the changes that you're going to be doing with the thumbnail and title and all that, so that you can make sure that you are doing that. So one thing I do want to bring to your attention, Comments Over Coffee right here if you are a podcast listener, and it just rotated. But basically, Comments Over Coffee there if you listen to podcasts. I have a podcast called Comments Over Coffee where I answer YouTube questions as well. They're like somewhere between like 10 and 15 minutes. Every now and then they'll go longer. But basically, the idea with Comments Over Coffee is so that you can learn about YouTube over a cup of coffee. So it's short form content to help you learn even more about YouTube. But I have a link to the website Comments Over Coffee down in the description, but of course you can download it on iTunes or on Google Play or on Spotify or wherever it happens to be. But if you are not listening to the podcast yet and you are a podcast listener, I just wanted to spread some awareness about that so that you can know to do that. Duty Ron.
Super chat.
Thanks, Duty Ron. I appreciate it. Says, to the rescue, Nick. Hope that you are all well. Yeah, thank you for that. Yeah, I'm going to actually video call her here in just a little bit. Yeah, so Elizabeth Sampson says, do you have a video on making thumbnails? I have a handful of videos on making thumbnails. If you just go to YouTube search and you look, just do like Nick Nimmin thumbnails or thumbnails Nick Nimmin, then you're going to see a list there of different videos that I have about making thumbnails. Danny Hatcher says, which A/B test option do you use on TubeBuddy? So basically, I just use the thumbnails specifically. I don't A/B test titles. I just A/B test thumbnails. It's the only thing that I A/B test in TubeBuddy. Cloverfield Gaming says, I've just hit 41 subs after around 3 years. It's slow, but I love recording and uploading. Yeah, that's cool. And that's why it's important to make sure that you know what you're after. Because if like, you know, like if you know, hey, this is just fun for me, I don't care if people subscribe or whatever, then that's cool. Like just do your thing, right? Because that in that case, you're accomplishing that goal right away. As soon as you publish, you're like, all right, sweet, there's another one. Had fun making that one. Let's move on. Let's do another one. And it's just a constant win.
Super chat.
CT Wilson, thank you for the super chat. Much appreciated. All right. So let's see here. Next up on our list, we have Ty Love a Lot, Thailand Patia. Says 1 time per week or more. They've been on YouTube for a year or more. It's a blog on Thailand. The goal of the channel is to bring Thailand to the masses and hopefully educate people before they arrive here. Boy, do they need it, especially there, right? if you're blogging from Patia, definitely they need that education before they go there. Why are my video watch hours dropping? Had 272, now 273. Just keep moving forward, because here's the thing. When you are, when you're putting out content, you're going to see every now and then, you're going to see fluctuations in what's happening in your stats. So every now and then YouTube will do a subscriber purge, which basically means that any bot traffic, they will, and by bot, I mean bot, B-O-T, not bot, B-O-U-G-H-T. But basically what happens is bot traffic will get removed. So that will be any bot subscribers, bot comments, bot watch time, bot anything, bot engagement. It all gets taken away. So what most likely happened in that situation is they just detected some bots that had watched your content, and because of that, when those watch hours were up here and then they got taken away, probably just because they cleaned out those bot accounts. And like even like let's say somebody here in the chat, like let's say for example that Professor Nez, because he's a sport, so we'll just use Professor Nez in this situation. Like let's say that Professor Nez watched a bunch of your videos, and then Professor Nez, while he was doing that, he was also spamming his channel all over YouTube in the comment section. Well, when they delete his channel, that might also end up reflecting on your channel in terms of like your subscriber count would take a hit just by 1. Some of that watch time would go away. Maybe some of his view counts would go, things like that. So all those things are happening in real time, like all the time on YouTube. So like, don't even worry about that sort of thing. Just focus on making the next video and just focus on adding value to the people that are watching and just getting people to click and watch. Focus your efforts on that instead of like the little details like that aren't going to really do anything for you. Divided by Sight.
Super chat.
Thank you for the super chat. It says your videos are always good and full of info. Thank you. Glad that you are enjoying the content. Professor Nez is like, what? Spamming my content all over YouTube? What are you talking about? My name's not Tom. Okay, let's see here. So, there's the next one. Yeah, D appreciated that Patia comment. My Topicin Head says that they've been on YouTube for a year or more. It's an automotive-based YouTube channel. Says I want to provide some up-to-date information happening in the automotive industry, and I also want them to know some of the unknown facts regarding this industry. So the question is, not gaming subscription, even though the click-through rate is fairly okay. So that simply just means that it's not clear to viewers why they should subscribe to your channel. Like they are not, Deja Vu Gaming, there's a Tim and a Tom, and there's also a Call as well, and I'm sure there's a bunch others. But basically, if you're getting views, but people are not converting into subscribers for you, in that situation, like one thing that you have to make sure that you are thinking about is it crystal clear what people are getting from my YouTube channel? This is where having things like in the beginning, like telling people, hey, on this channel, I do X, Y, Z. If that's something you're interested in, make sure you subscribe, like that type of thing. Like that's where that can be advantageous if you do it right. If you do it wrong, then it can actually hurt you. So you want to hold that stuff off until you actually get good at getting people to watch first. But the thing with that sort of thing is if people don't have a clear view of this is what I get from the content here, or they don't have a reason to keep coming back to the channel, then that's going to hurt the people that are subscribing to your channel. So for example, I can't remember the specific name of the automotive channel, but there was an automotive channel that we were talking about before that was in the live streams a lot. And their particular channel, they were doing something, as long as I'm remembering the situation correctly, it was something along the lines of they weren't focused on any particular cars. They were just doing like random tips for all these different cars, instead of just giving some like random tips about cars just in general. So what they did in their situation is they weren't converting very high because they just had like a video on a car, right? So if you were into that car, then in that situation, it wasn't, like just that one video is the only thing relevant on the channel. And the other content about that car was difficult to find. So if I remember right, the thing that we might have recommended to them was to start putting content into playlists and making it easier for them to find, their specific make and model of any of the content related to that particular car or that, model, whatever. And on the content side, the recommendation was also to start making just some like general type of car content as well, like tire related stuff and things like that all cars have to deal with. And whatever those changes were, it basically made it a little bit more general and made it a little bit more easy to find the content that was related to what it was that they were watching. And the channel ended up benefiting from that, and they started getting more subscribers because the content they were putting out was more clear why people should keep coming back to the channel. So, because of that, you really got to think of what is the value that people are getting and how clear is it that value, or how clear is that value on your channel. And it's way more than just having it like in your channel art, right? It's about making it clear, like in your channel art, in the playlist that you're displaying, in your actual video content once you do that, in your branding if possible. Like it's about being very clear about what it is that viewers get out of your content, so that they can know that you have an entire channel dedicated to that. Next up is the Armstrong family. Armstrong family says, to inspire others to live life to the fullest is the goal of the channel. It says, how does YouTube recommend channels? So YouTube recommends content based on other content that people watch. So basically, if let's say, for example, because I picked up that Mac recently, so I started watching videos on like Final Cut, on Logic, on Mac in general. So now I'm constantly getting hit with people that I've never seen before that make content for Macs. They make content for Final Cut. They make content for Logic, which is music software. And I'm constantly getting hit with that because YouTube has detected, hey, all of a sudden this person's looking around for this type of content. When we show it to him, he's clicking on it. And because of that, we're going to keep showing him more of that type of content. And essentially, as long as you make content that performs well in terms of getting people to click, watch, and engage, and keep coming back to the channel, as long as you're making content like that, then YouTube will start to identify, it might take some time, but YouTube will start to identify that, hey, when we show this content to this particular type of person, or a particular person interested in these particular things, then they typically respond to it. Maybe this one video they don't respond to from this particular channel, but these other videos they do. So because of that, we're going to start showing those types of videos to viewers that typically respond to that type of content on their channel. So it all comes down to what people are watching on YouTube, what they are searching for on YouTube. Technically, according to YouTube, it even comes down to things like how you're interacting in other apps on your phone. Like if you have Chrome installed and you have like YouTube installed and all that stuff on your phone, that also gives them the ability to see other things that are happening in your phone as well. So they literally have, if you look in the Google Help pages, they're literally tracking like all of this activity that you're doing, and they're able to see like, hey, these are things that this person's interested in, and because of that, they start showing content. So in addition to YouTube being a search engine, it's also a predictive engine, which is basically their system is trying to predict what it is that you're most likely to watch at that particular point in time. If you're sitting at home and you're watching videos on your TV, and you do that at a particular time of day, from that device, they are going to show you certain types of content that you typically respond to on that device. If you typically watch videos on your phone at certain times of day, let's say while you're at work, you take a lunch break and you just sit outside for 10 minutes on your phone and you watch my videos, then what's going to happen is they're going to say, hey, at this time every day, this person typically responds to this type of content. So if there's a fresh video that's out or a video from a content library of somebody that they're watching that we think they'll respond to, then we're going to show it to them at this particular type of day on their phone, because they typically respond to videos of this length, of this type, around this topic, at this time of day on this device, right? And they just fine tune that. And it's all changing in real time as all of our interests change every day. Like, for example, right before I got that, I wasn't looking at any of that stuff. So because of that, it didn't matter. But now I'm looking at that stuff. That's what matters. So as my interest in like, okay, well, now I'm getting an understanding of figuring out how, Final Cut works and how Logic works and all that. So I'm not going to be looking at those tutorials and clicking on them less and less, which then will make YouTube start showing me that content less and less as well. And you can see it in your own activity. Just watch what you click on. D has a problem. Anytime a bear video pops up, he watches it. And because of that, he has a problem on his channel to where he's constantly getting suggested bear content of just bears doing all this crazy stuff to people. So because of that, it's just predicting what it is that you're wanting to watch. All right. So next up, we've got Who Man Choose movie review. And to share my opinion about the movies is the goal of the channel. And the question is, after uploading my videos on my channel, where else can I share it to reach my target audience so that I get my deserved views and subscribers? So when it comes to what you deserve, this is an adjustment that I think a lot of content creators need to make mentally. So just because you made a video doesn't mean that you necessarily like deserve to get views. If you deserve to get views, that you deserving to get views comes from you making content that a particular type of viewer and audience responds to. And when that happens, you'll get views. So basically, when you're making content, the better that you get at making content and getting people to respond at the click level in terms of clicking on your title and thumbnail, the better you get at that, the more deserving you're going to be of views, because you're basically learning those skills and you are able to trigger people to do that. And by doing that, by going through that process of learning, you are getting yourself into a position to where you're able to tap into YouTube and their system. Because what you're looking at is like, where can I share my content? So if you're looking at sharing your content, sure, absolutely. You can find relevant groups on Facebook. Yes, you can find relevant groups on subreddit and other like web forums and things like that based around the type of content that you make. But it has to be a perfect alignment with the type of audience that you're trying to reach. Because if you have this outside traffic coming in and they come in and they're watching on YouTube, but they're not the perfect person that you're trying to reach, and then your videos get presented to them and then they still come in and watch them, but they don't really respond to them that great because they're not really like that into it, but they're just kind of like clicking it because it's like, oh yeah, I watched a video from this person recently, let's see what this is about, then you can actually be working against yourself in that situation. So you got to make sure that wherever you do share your content, it's a great fit for the people that you're actually trying to reach on YouTube. So I just want to say really quick, everybody, thank you so much for hanging out in the live stream today. Next week, as long as I don't have internet problems again, I will be back to our regularly scheduled time and our regularly scheduled day and all of that stuff for the live stream. So for everybody that hung out here for a Sunday morning over there, thank you for hanging out. Happy Mother's Day again to all of the moms. I'm actually going to call my mom now. So I'm going to get off the stream so I can call her because she's just getting up as well. So I want to give her a call, make sure that, that I wish her a happy Mother's Day also. So thank you everybody so much for hanging out. D, I wish you could have been on the stream today, or wish I could be hanging out in the studio with you here live, but can't right now. So we'll do that here soon. But for everybody else, thank you so much for hanging out in the live stream. I hope that you learned something today. If you haven't yet, and you want to learn more about growing your channel, making videos and all types of other YouTube related stuff, make sure you subscribe and click the bell. And if you haven't installed TubeBuddy yet, make sure that you do that. You can go to TubeBuddy.com/Nimmin and you can install it for free to see what TubeBuddy is going to do for you, or how TubeBuddy can help you out with what it is that you are doing. So again, thank you so much for hanging out, and I will see you next weekend.
Thanks for watching Nimmin Live, brought to you by TubeBuddy. Remember to follow us on your favorite social media platforms. Have a great week.